Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't a good one. Go back to the good one.
Yeah.
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 It's Friday, baby. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. The Rob Brown Show is on your radio. It's the Fan Upstate. How do you do? Upstate South Carolina. Hello, America. What up, world? Great to be. You can't throw me off. I'm a damn professional. All right. I'm an amateur professional, ladies and gentlemen.
I was mixing, yo.
Wah, 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 wah. DJ Lonzo on the ones and twos this AM. I am Rob Brown, your ever so humble, yet frequently correct host. The pleasure is mine. Thanks for being here. If you're here, if you're not here yet, I'll thank you later. What a show. What a show we got lined up for you. It is Friday morning, and we all of us, every one of the us's, ladies and gentlemen, we all owe Steph Curry an apology. All of us, all of the people owe Steph Curry an apology this morning because Steph Curry yesterday saved us. He saved all of us. If it wasn't for Steph yesterday, we would be playing for the bronze medal. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is that tomorrow at 3:30 p.m., Team USA will be playing for the gold as the 36-year-old Steph Curry put up a point per year he's been alive, recording 36 on 9 three-pointers in that game.
Hero complex. I mean, you know.
Oh, God. He can score 36, and it's not good enough for Colonel Grudge.
It's hero complex. I've got to be the savior. I've got to be the guy who comes in and saves the day, although he wasn't. But
What the hell do you mean he wasn't?
They still were losing, even with all that.
And then what happened? Then
I think it was Joel.
And then they did not lose.
No, they didn't. They didn't. But maybe if they spread the ball around a little bit more.
Spread the ball?
Yeah. Instead of just being, hey, look at me. I finally decided to play after all this time.
Certified hater mode.
I'm just giving you an observation from the other
haters,
side.
The haters.
Not the
haters. The haters.
Smoochy.
The haters.
You know, they're gonna bug somebody else. They're gonna bug me. Because I could just sit over here and not talk. I get paid the same.
You do it to me all the time.
I know.
All right.
I know I do. And you smooching
Don't
up.
make yourself the victim here.
Smooching up to your boy. It's not me, Mac. I'm not doing it, Trey. It's not me. That's him. That's not me.
What the hell do you mean it's not you? My man scored 36 on 9 threes and bailed us out, and he's got a hero complex.
Absolutely. He does, without a doubt. I mean, look at the guys. Like, I'm going to sandbag. I'm not going to play well all this time until we get to a point where they need me.
Who
then
be the biggest
everyone can
say
praise.
The dumbest stuff?
Didn't say anything dumb. Just gave you a different perspective.
I have had enough of you.
Unbelievable.
Shut the hell up.
Every one of us
No.
should rush out to buy a Steph Curry Team USA jersey yesterday. The minute that game ended,
Does it come with
we
a binky?
should have all gone on to
like
Amazon.
strapped up on the corner, a little binky that you can also, I want to be just like Steph.
Certified hater mode.
They like to drink their haterade and eat their hater tots.
This is completely BS. This is shame. It's a complete crap.
I'm the hero. I would say that noise is much more annoying than anything else that you're playing because I'm getting on my own nerves.
I got nothing for Lonzo at all. I got nothing at all. That dude yesterday, a day after a day after we had Hating-ass Mario on, and I said publicly to Mario, Steph Curry is not an asset. He's a liability at these games. Dude came out and said, double birds, Rob Brown, and every other hater out there.
Certified hater mode.
Don't worry, I'll get it done. And yesterday played the best single game that any individual American has had on the hardwood at these Olympic Games. Dude was yesterday absolutely and entirely impressive.
Did he win the game for the United States? Did he make the last shot to take? Did he take the shot to take the lead? I don't remember.
I don't want to hear a word about Patrick Mahomes having a good game this year.
Not
Not a word. Not a word
I don't
this
care
year.
what you want to hear.
Not a word.
I don't.
When he goes off for 450 and 4 touchdowns, I just want to say the next day, did he win the game? Did he do it by himself?
No, because Rob Brown
He's
says
just
the quarterback does not do it alone.
Patrick Mahomes has got a hero complex, frankly. That's what I think.
He's
got a hero complex.
It doesn't work.
It does. Hero complex.
I established it. You can't steal it. I mean, it's not like an ideal off the air. You can't steal it.
Sure I can. Sure I can. If it works for a dude, it works for the dudes.
It doesn't work for you, though. I'm sorry. You're better than that.
You are correct, Trey. I do need to drop a hate clip from the player hate his ball. The player hate his ball. Congratulations, you're America's #1 hater.
Wow. I don't know.
Need a Dave Chappelle clip in here. I need them all.
All your stuff is negative. You have no positive clips at all.
I open the show with nothing but positivity, a salute Cena style.
I'm talking about clips. I'm not talking about you. Do you have any positive clips on your
winner,
board?
Man. You're the real deal. You're picking up chicks.
That'll be great, man.
You're a winner, man. You're the real deal. You're picking up
Oh, I didn't know I
chicks.
had that one on there. Is that the same one? It is. Oh, I got to get rid of one of those.
Okay, because you got two. You got two.
Move that one there.
He's the man of the people.
Okay. I don't know. All right. You proved yourself.
My loins have been tingling.
Anytime, Chad. Anytime. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Did he win it? No. The same way that no one person ever wins a game of basketball that's not one-on-one. Would we have won it without him? Damn no.
I do want to point
Not regular no. Hell no.
I want to point out that you and I discussed yesterday on the show how I said I thought it would be a lot closer than what people were thinking. And it absolutely was. I think they took Serbia too lightly because how they beat them the first couple games, and Serbia had their full team and they played as a team. And after they got past Steph's gunning and started playing as a team at the end of the game in the fourth quarter, they were able to pull away and win the game. Thank goodness for that. If they were just doing the running and gunning thing and being an individual instead of being a team, they would not have won that at the end.
So
put the Steph stuff aside. They had to come together as a team and play as a team in the fourth quarter. That's how they were able to win.
all right, couple things here. Number one, Serbia was lights bleeping out for 3.5 quarters. They were lights out. The optimism of even I, America's #1 optimist, the optimism of even I began to wane about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter, because even when the Yanks started knocking down shots, by the way, Joel Embiid, I swear to God, if you don't learn how to box somebody out, all right, take your gigantic ass and put it on another person, Joel. They had not one but 2 different times in the fourth quarter where they had not 1, not 2, but 3 second chance shots that the Americans should have broken the other way. Instead, that's an 8-point swing. Joel, you freaking giant, maybe use it. And also, Joel had some moments where I was like, damn, he can ball a little bit. He went baseline and threw down a jam that I thought he was going to shatter the backboard. Like, that was Joel Embiid had one of the most Jekyll and Hyde games I've ever seen. There was times where, like, I stopped tweeting about Joel Embiid because I tweet something mean about him, and then he'd throw down a dunk that you're like, oh, damn, he just cooked the entire defense. And then I tweet something good about him, and he'd turn around and watch Jokic get like 4 boards on the same possession for no reason at all. Joel Embiid was infuriating yesterday. But all of that being said, Serbia played lights out yesterday. Nothing but respect. And here is the conversation that I do want to have. And we will get into this in a little bit more detail later on in the show. RG3 sent out a tweet that I had to react to. And I like RG3. Big RG3 guy. I like RG3 a lot. RG3 said, LeBron James saved, all caps, sorry. LeBron James saved Team USA with the 4th triple-double in Olympic history against Serbia. Chef Curry went for 36 points at 36 years old. They aren't too old. They are the 2 best basketball players in the world, but make no mistake, they are, hang on, I got to get it, too old for this. Ain't no way a team with 7 NBA champions should only beat Serbia by 4 points, period. And I had a reaction to that.
You use ointment or something? Just something now coming because that stuff will spread.
They make a pill for it now. You have to get all greasy. RG3 and everyone else in the Twitterverse that had a similar reaction. Let me respond thusly. Throwing, first off, love Steph, love LeBron. All right, I'm a stan for each. I'm a big fan, but they're not the 2 best basketball players in the world. Okay, love LeBron. LeBron is the best basketball player of all time, but he is not the best basketball player in the world. My dog is 39 years old. Is he still capable of taking over a game? Yeah.
That boy is good.
That boy good. Is he still capable of taking over a game? Yeah, he literally has done that like 3 times in these Olympic Games. Steph Curry, greatest 3-point shooter of all time, hands down, no questions asked. He is the greatest sniper in the history of basketball. Okay? Is he the greatest player, one of the 2 greatest? No, he's not.
Nope.
No, he's not. In fact, again, Thursday, when we talked shooty hoops with hating-ass Mario, I referred to him as a liability in these games, and I'm not walking that back because in games 1 and 2, actually in games 1, 2, and 3, Steph Curry was a liability. Yesterday, these 2 dudes dug down deep with their Messiah complex and bailed us out for sure. But are they the 2 best? No. Here's what I am going to tell you. The best basketball player in the world was playing for Serbia yesterday. Nikola Jokic, best on planet Earth, was playing for Serbia yesterday. Bogdan Bogdanovic, Bogey, as I learned they refer to him as. And it's all I'll refer to him as from now on.
We got a bogey on our 6.
Yeah. I'd have played the hell out of that clip yesterday. We'd have had all kinds of Top Gun stuff in here if I'd have known that. Bogey yesterday was infuriating with some of the shots he was knocking down, right? I want you, American basketball fans.
America.
I want you to enjoy this gold medal game tomorrow at 3:30 against France. Because you know what's going to happen tomorrow? France is going to roll a couple of freaks at us. France is going to roll Victor Wembanyama and Rudy Gobert at us tomorrow. Couple of real good big men. Maybe the best defensive player on planet Earth, Rudy Gobert. And whatever the hell Victor Wembanyama is, some sort of extraterrestrial creature from another galaxy that learns how to play basketball. They're going to roll that at us. And I'm going to call the shot now. I think we win this game. Okay? I think we win this game. I feel comfortable with the win. And frankly,
You
after what happened
think?
yesterday, I feel comfortable with the win and the cover in this game.
Okay, because you should know.
Objectively,
There shouldn't be any doubt.
no, that's not how this job works.
No. What I'm
Just
saying
because I
is
like a team,
it's our game and we should be better than everyone else, but the world has caught up as far as basketball
it's
goes.
not even just that the world is caught up. And this is what kind of set me to, you know what? I'm going to talk about this when I come back, because this honestly, it struck a chord with me when I read this RG3 tweet yesterday. I'm like, man, I had to tweet about it. You know it's serious when I have to tweet about it, and I had to tweet about it. So I want to address this tweet from RG3 when we come back in just a minute. A tweet in which he said, ain't no way a team with 7 NBA champions should only beat Serbia by 4 points, period. I want to address it when we come back, because you, if you were a fan of Team USA basketball in the Olympics, you better enjoy the hell out of tomorrow's game. Because in 2028, ain't a damn thing guaranteed anymore. Talk about that when we come back. I am Rob Brown. Colonel Grudge on the other side of the glass. The great one, Lonzo on the ones and twos. We're back after this on the Rob Brown Show on the Fan Upstate.
Of course, it has music.
No, it had a bump to it.
No, I'm talking about the liner.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your
No.
excellent
Oh,
hits.
no, I nailed it. But the liner had music behind it, and it's stupid. Act like you like doing your job, lady. Sound like daggum AI weather.
Somebody just referred to RG3 as Robert, and I don't know why I find it as funny as I do, but I do.
This is his name. I mean, it's like it's yours. I mean, you know. All I can say, and this is a stream exclusive, somebody seems to feel better today. That's all I'm saying.
I am being told that a plane carrying Panthers players just slid off the runway at Charlotte.
Oh, that's not good.
That's not good at all. Seems like everybody's okay. Delta Flight 8860.
I don't want the house to burn down.
Oh, sorry. Thanks, WCNC Charlotte.
Well, you did it, but I mean, you know.
Landed on runway 36 right around 2:35 a.m. before run. Oh, this morning. Witnesses on scene told WCNC Charlotte the flight was carrying players with the Carolina Panthers. No injuries were reported following the incident. Okay, good news. I gotta get up.
I'm in a smoothie bar asking people if they switch smoothies with me for $574. Oh, I'll switch. So what about $574?
He gonna throw something at me before the show's over. But I'll duck because I'm elusive.
Yeah, check Allstate first and you can save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023, to switch to Allstate report savings. Savings vary.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Let's go for a quick break back for final.
A big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your
Jesse, Steven, Chris, Mac, Trey, what's up, boys and girls?
According to Caleb Williams, Patrick Mahomes is not a top 3 quarterback.
Disrespect.
Everybody's doing it. Why?
Because it gets you attention.
I know, but don't they know what that's going to do? You're hurting your own bottom line doing that. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Must be a different driver. Let's see. He came in nice and easy, went on the other side of the pole, didn't come towards my car all fast.
Yeah, does it just because he knows it's your car, obviously.
Oh, there's Chris is here already. He's parked in a way. There's no way he would have had he might have actually hit my car if he tried it. So save goes to Captain America. Thank you.
We learned during the break there just minutes ago that a plane carrying home members of the Carolina Panthers after last night's preseason game in New England, and we will talk about that game coming up in the next hour of the show. Delta Flight 8860 landed on runway 36 right last night at 2:35 a.m. and then slid off the runway. No one was injured in the event. Passengers were deplaned shortly after the incident and taken to Wilson Air Base, according to WCNC Charlotte. Delta Airlines issued a statement that said, quote, "The right main gear of Delta 8860 exited the taxiway at Charlotte." That's a way to put that. It exited the taxi. Yeah, it slid off. It fast and the furious off the runway, bud. Exited the taxiway at Charlotte Douglas International Airport following a normal arrival. No injuries were reported by the 188 customers who are deplaning and being bused to the terminal. We apologize to our customers for the inconvenience. I've been on, a few hundred flights in my lifetime. I've never had an issue before. Like, I've never had anything like this happen. I'm not saying it would stop me from ever flying again, but
I don't have to worry about this ever. Because
you also don't have to worry about seeing the world.
Well, that's
but to each their own.
I can put on some
I got YouTube,
VR.
bro.
I can put on some VR and it's like I'm there. No, thank you.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, I do not ever want to be on a plane for reasons like that.
It's the same thing. All right, let's get back to this RG3.
By the way, in all seriousness, I'm glad they're all right.
Yes. Oh, yeah, obviously, same. That's I'm not saying, even as a veteran aviation enthusiast, I'm not saying that wouldn't scare. As Deadpool would say, I'd be glad to have my brown pants on. Because he wears red, so you can't see him bleed.
Listen, I get it.
Okay, you look confused.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure we were
no. As
on the same page.
As per our discussion before the show started, I'm wondering if you're trying to do that or not. That's the reason why.
All right, so American basketball fans, yesterday, a thriller in Paris. The Americans do ultimately get by Serbia in the semifinal. They have earned their berth in the gold medal game against France, coming up tomorrow at 3:30 in the afternoon. We'll break that game down a little bit later on in the radio broadcast. I hope you enjoy these Olympics, because 4 years from now, I think that the Americans will still send a great assemblage of talent to Los Angeles, California, the site of the 2028 Summer Olympic Games. Alonzo and I will be in our 70s when those Olympics roll around. I'm very excited about seeing what happens, mainly because I think if there's one thing that you can get by looking at this roster, I think the thing that you are almost kind of obligated to realize and recognize is that the dominance that we have displayed roster-wise for so many years, a lot of it's going to have to roll off. A lot of it is gonna have to roll off. Kevin Durant, probably not going to be the same cat. LeBron James, Steph Curry Hell, even guys like Embiid are kind of going to be right there on that cusp in 4 years from now, because it's not just the age, but it's also 4 more years of NBA wear and tear on the body. Steph Curry plays a game where he's not all that beat up all of the time, so he's got a little bit more in the tank. LeBron is a once in a, I'll say, and I'm not even going to temper it. LeBron James is a once in a lifetime player. Not just that he made it to 39, but he made it to 39 still as one of the most dominant players on the face of the planet. These guys are rolling off. And if I asked you right now, outside of the few guys that are on it right now, Anthony Edwards, who is in his young 20s. If I asked you right now, who's the talent that rolls onto the roster to replace these dudes? Do you have an answer for me? That to fill out a 12-man roster? Do you have Drew Holiday's going to be gone? There's your defensive specialist. Who are the cats in their early 20s that roll onto this roster? Who are the guys that are going to be playing college ball? Cooper Flagg, are we ready to put that? He impressed everybody during the warm-up tour. Are you ready to put Cooper Flagg there and say he is going to be ready to play and dominate the Olympics? I'm not.
There's an answer there. There's an answer, and Joel Embiid just showed you how to do it. You find these guys who have lived here for a really long time. They were born somewhere else, and let them play for the USA.
If they want to.
Right.
But we are seeing, look at and I'll tell you what triggered this conversation was talking about Rudy Gobert and Victor Wembanyama for Team France. Let us not forget that they had 2 of the top 3 picks, France did, in this year's NBA draft between Ricochet and Alex Sarr.
Did you say Ricochet?
His name is Ricochet.
Okay, all right.
Ricochet. You've got you add Salon into that. France needs a point guard, and they will have 5 NBA starters as their international starting lineup in 2028. 5 young NBA starters. And oh, by the way, Rudy Gobert's still on that team. And I don't know if he'll be in 4 years. But he theoretically could, just like Joel Embiid theoretically could be on this team in 4 years, right? France will have at least a starting 5 that is all NBA starters in 4 years. No one else has that right now. So here's the point I'm driving at. Enjoy the dominance now. Because is it our game? Sure. But not anymore. It's the world's game now. All right? The result of the Americans propping up basketball and the result of the Americans living in a country that the rest of the world looks to and follows is that you ain't going to be the best at your stuff forever. Baseball fans have already had to accept this. Look at the World Baseball Classic. Japan is kicking our ass, as Jim Carrey once said in a famous movie called Liar, Liar. Baseball is not our sport anymore. Is it our sport in that it happens here? The world comes to play here? Major League Baseball is still, without a doubt, the most popular baseball league on the face of the planet? Absolutely. The best Japanese players come to America. The best Dominican players come to America. The best Mexican players, the best European, they all come here to play baseball. But America does not send the best team to the international baseball tournaments anymore because we're not. Basketball is going that direction. And there's one more element to this that I think Robert Griffin III is missing. He said, ain't no way a team with 7 NBA champions should only beat Serbia by 4. And on paper, that's correct. But I want you to really think about this. at the most, Team USA basketball gets together once every 2 years for about 3 to 4 weeks. Look up and down this roster. The Philadelphia 76ers build their team around Joel Embiid. It caters to what Joel Embiid does. The Boston Celtics, not as much with Jason Tatum, who, by the way, did not play in this game yesterday, and a lot of people are coming after Steve Kerr for it. We'll talk about that later. But the Boston Celtics have built that team around Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but they built it around him. It caters to him. The Lakers have built a team that caters around LeBron James and Anthony Davis, who are on this team. Steph Curry. The Warriors clearly cater that team around Steph Curry, as they should. You're ludicrous not to. But the point here is, pick your NBA player off of this roster and come to the realization and recognition that they spend 95% of their basketballing on a team that is catered to them, that builds its play style to them, that runs everything to and through them. So just throwing them on the same page doesn't mean they're automatically going to click, all right? Lonzo and I are the LeBron and Steph of South Carolina Sports Talk Radio. Obviously, he's Braun. We are the LeBron and Steph.
Evil eye works. I'm just saying that because you know what he was going to do.
But what I would say is when Lonzo and I got put onto the same show, for the record, when it happened, I got a text at like 5:45 one afternoon that's like, hey, Lonzo's on your show now.
Be glad you weren't on the Zoom call.
I'm real glad I wasn't on the Zoom call. As somebody who hates confrontation, it had just been my camera pointed at the ceiling at that point, all right? I got a text at like 5:45 from the boss. Hey, Lonzo's on your show now. Like, okay. And when he came in the next day and sat in on the show for the first time, and he and I went, okay, we're a dynamic duo now. He won't admit it. It took us a couple of shows to kind of feel out what the chemistry of the soon-to-be 3-time South Carolina Broadcasters Association Sports Talk Radio Show of the Year was going to be.
We're not there yet. We're working on it.
That's true. There are still mornings that my mother texts me and goes, you guys good? Y'all all right? Y'all gonna fight it out in the parking lot after this? Okay? It takes some time. So when these guys are playing 95% of their basketball on teams that cater exclusively to them, when they show up to an event like this, where I got a dozen guys, well, let's say 9. Not because Drew Holiday doesn't get catered to. Derek White doesn't get catered to. But like 9, maybe 10 out of the 12 guys.
That Livingston guy or whatever his name is.
Tyrese Halliburton, definitely not Livingston. But I'm going to disagree. He does with the Sirs.
The Sirs.
He does get catered to. I'm going to say 10 out of 12 guys. Let's say 9 for the conversation. 9 out of 12 guys, 95% of their basketball and the basketball team is catered to them. 3 aren't. So when they show up on a team like this, they're not, and you could see it yesterday because the timing just wasn't there. Steph was running a give and go with Joel Embiid, and Joel Embiid was passing the ball to a ghost because he's not used to Steph, even after a couple of weeks. He's not used to Steph being a guy that passes and is on the cut before you receive the pass. So the timing wasn't there. So the thought of, well, you just roll out 7 NBA champs and you'll dominate, that's not true because 3 games doesn't make you a great basketball team. This is also one reason that I think we should start exclusively allowing college coaches to coach Team USA. You know who should coach them in 2028? Dan Hurley should coach this team in 2028, not Steve Kerr. Because there's all these NBA algorithms that he has to run through. We should send a dude who doesn't give a damn about whether or not somebody's feelings are hurt.
You mean like how Coach K did it?
Bingo. That's exactly correct. All right, we'll talk more about this later on in the show. But we're not guaranteed gold in 2028. Just so we're clear, it's going to be a fight in 2028. Back after this on the Rob Brown Show on the Fan Upstate. Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Give me my head all day. Morton. All right, guys, give me 45 seconds. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
I don't know if I go that far, Mac.
I don't want amateurs back.
Yeah, because there aren't amateurs everywhere else in the world. Ooh, that's a different kind of rock climbing there.
Oh yeah, this is no joke rock climbing.
This is still for speed, though. It's a countdown clock. No, okay.
We're watching mountain rock climbing now. Ain't neither one of us making it to like the first obstacle in this. That dude is holding himself up with a wide grip like it's no problem. Not a chance. Not in the best shape of my life am I pulling this off. Also, is it just one clip at a time?
This is.
What happens if he slips when he's moving the clip?
I don't know. What's
Chalk, bro? Attaboy.
What country is he from? I can't tell.
This is one of those things that, like, it's just ultimate respect. I don't care who you're climbing for. Just so we're clear, Max said, I want amateurs back for basketball. I do not. I still want to send the best. You know what I would love to see? And I don't know that it's going to be a thing. I don't know that it could be a thing. I don't think that NBA teams would let it be a thing. What I would love to see is the international team get more time to play and sharpen that chemistry. I'd like to see them get maybe like an extra week and a half of games, like maybe 3 more games. Like maybe they do 6 tune-up games en route to the Olympics instead of 3. Because to me, the issue yesterday was not talent level. It wasn't. That will be a thing in the future. The NBA is an international league now. The NBA, just like Major League Baseball and just like the NFL, within a handful of years, the NBA will get a second international team. The first one obviously being Toronto, Canada, A. So it's kind of like, yeah, you're just USA North. We get it. But they will have another international team at some point. Now, unlike, say, the National Football League, where they could easily stick a team in Great Britain or Germany or whatever, because they play once every 7 days, and you could cater the schedule to that team. I don't know that you could easily prop up a European team that plays in the NBA. I think you could prop up a European league, and then every year the winner of the NBA plays the winner of the European League for the world title. I think you could do that, but I do not think that you could prop up a team. That being said, the best from around the world are now playing a game that is played around the world, and they are coming here. But unlike in years gone by, we are now at a point where, like Joel Embiid, who had the opportunity to play for Cameroon, France, or the United States, and he picked the U.S. And he said straight up, I'm playing for Team USA because I want a gold medal, and it ain't coming from Cameroon. And I got a better shot with Team USA than anywhere else. You are starting to see players who are going, yeah, I'm going to come to the United States, and I'm going to make my tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, and I'm going to get world famous, but I'm playing for Serbia or France or whoever, Germany. And as basketball continues to become a worldwide phenomenon, more of those players are going to not just be great NBAers, but elect to play for their home country. So the skill is going to level out. Will there ever be a point that Team USA doesn't have the most talented roster, like purely on paper talent, or the most accomplished roster? I doubt it. I doubt there ever will be a point where if you look roster spot by roster spot 1 through 12, that there will be a year where Team USA doesn't clearly have the best talent. Will there ever be a point where it doesn't have the most chemistry? Sure. I think yesterday you got a glimpse of that. The chemistry for Team Serbia was unreal yesterday. They were clicking. Team USA was not. Now, basketball teams have one-off games all the time. The Boston Celtics had a one-off game against the Dallas Mavericks where Dallas won. But Boston was clearly the superior basketball team. Clearly. So what I'm saying with all of this, and I'm not going to hang on this for the whole show, but yes, yesterday's game was big to me as somebody who loves to see the stars and stripes fly in the Olympics and certainly wants to see the stars and stripes fly during our contest. I will feel the same way, despite knowing that we are not the most talented baseball country right now. That's Japan. I will feel this same sense of enthusiasm and energy when baseball is played in the Olympics in 2028 in Los Angeles, California. I will have the exact same energy, aura, as the kids are calling it, about baseball at the 2028 Olympics. So, I want to enjoy what we are getting right now out of Team USA basketball because in 2028, in 2028,
Winter is coming.
It's your fault.
I needed my Sean Bean. No, it is my fault.
Yeah, my bad.
So, I do not want amateurs back in the game. Okay? I want to send the best we have and the best we have play in the NBA. And on top of that, I don't know how much more you could do, right? College basketball is not that far away, y'all. We're looking at what, 2.5 months until we get our preseason tournaments going on around the hemisphere. I was going to say around the country, but they play them in Puerto Rico and the Bahamas.
Yeah, I was going to say Jamaica and places like that. Yeah.
The Gamecock women played in Paris last year. So, what in Paris? Yeah, Paris. Yeah. So the point here,
At
ultimately,
least one of them is playing this year in Paris.
correct. What up, Asia? Gangster. So, all of those things being said, I do not want amateurs back. I do not want anything to change. I want Team USA to have an extra couple of warm-ups before they go to the Olympics, because developing that chemistry and that timing is critical. And I think that while we did play 3 tune-up games, and tune-up games are important, if you watched those tune-up games, as I did, as Zoe did, those tune-up games felt to me more like, you know what they felt like? They felt like a basketball con is what they felt like, right? It felt like it was more a celebration of the dudes that were on the team than a team-building exercise.
It was like the All-Star game.
Yeah.
With a little more care. But
Sure.
Basically the All-Star game.
Because Canada wanted to beat us, right? South Sudan, that was their freaking Super Bowl. Like, these teams wanted to beat us. Serbia wanted to beat us, even though they only had Jokic in the tune-up game. They wanted to beat us. But for us, those games felt more like a tune-up game, felt more like a warm-up game, felt more like a celebration of the NBA players on the team than it felt like it was a progression of the team. And I think we're kind of to the point now where we need to send dudes in those spots to become a better basketball team. And I don't get the vibe that that's what's happening in those spots. So when you look at Serbia, a team that's got a three-time NBA MVP, because I don't care what you say, Embiid did not take it from him in the mist. That was a Jokic year. Should be 3 consecutive time NBA winning MVP. And then you surround him with NBA role players like Bogdanovic who cater to him, which means that Serbia operates the way an NBA team does. They play the way an NBA team does. Nikola Jokic doesn't have to learn a new style of basketball. Serbia caters to Jokic the way the Denver Nuggets cater to Jokic. He doesn't have to change his game. LeBron's got to change his game a little bit. Steph Curry's got to change his game. Joel Embiid's got to change his game. Anthony Davis. All these guys got to change their game for Team USA. Nikola Jokic doesn't. And neither do any of the guys that are around him. Bogdanovic does not have to change his game. He's got to play in the Olympics the same way he plays in the NBA. He is not the star. He is a supplemental player who has the opportunity to knock down shots when they present themselves. And that's what happened yesterday. And he was frustratingly good at it. So you put all that together, like I said, do I think it's doom and gloom time? No. Do I think that things might need to be handled a little bit differently? Should we want to win the gold medal in 2028 when we host the Olympics? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Steve Kerr got the win yesterday. He's real lucky he did. Because I don't know, go back to the game against Serbia in the group stage when Jason Tatum didn't play and Steve Kerr got busted up for it afterwards, and he said, I felt like an idiot, man. Felt like an idiot, but the matchups weren't right for playing Tatum. Bro, I was screaming at my TV yesterday when the Americans were down 15 to Serbia and nothing was going right. I'm like, put him in just to see what happens, right? Like, at some point, you have to do something to change the chemistry of this game. Steph Curry and Joel Embiid could not work a 1-2 game to save their backsides yesterday. The timing was bad. And I don't know how many times, maybe all of them, I don't know. But I don't know how many times you can rely on LeBron James to bulldoze his way to the basket, get the and one, and hope that that's enough to trigger a change of the momentum in the game. But my man's 39. Now, granted, there's only one game left, right? There's only the gold medal game left. But I don't know that I want to have to lean on that, especially when, by the way, that won't work against France. That won't work. LeBron goes barreling into the paint against France. What's waiting for him? Victor Wembanyama and Rudy Gobert down low. So sending LeBron to the basket means it's either got to be to the basket and a dish. By the way, LeBron with the triple-double. We haven't even talked about the triple-double yet. LeBron with the triple-double. You send him to the basket, you better have somebody ready to take the pass and knock down a shot on the outside. Or LeBron better be ready to get worked, dude. To get worked. So we'll see we'll see what changes. I'll say this. I like the Americans over the French in the gold medal game. I like them. And I like them in part because while we can sit here and talk about chemistry and timing and all these things that were a problem yesterday that made yesterday's game a hell of a lot more exhilarating than we would have liked as a 14.5-point favorite, these dudes do have some level of pride to them. They do have some level of expectation of themselves. I believe that. And so they're going to get roughed up. They got roughed up last night. They're getting roughed up today. They're going to be roughed up tomorrow. They are going to hear about this game against Serbia over and over and over. And I expect that tomorrow against France, you're probably going to get Team USA's best game of the tournament. You're probably going to get a team that is infuriated, that is ticked off. Now, that doesn't always translate to success, to victory. Sometimes you go out there and you overdo it out of spite.
Yeah, that could lead to a bunch of guys saying, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make sure that we win instead of we are going to do this.
Yeah.
Because that has been their problem the entire time. Hopefully it's a wake-up call and they'll take it a little more serious.
That's what I'm banking on. That is what I am banking on. But like we mentioned, France, and go back to before the Olympics started, I mentioned 3 teams specifically that I went, they're good enough to beat. You have an off day. They're good enough to beat you. Canada, Serbia, and France are the 3 teams I went and worried about. The bracket shaped up so you didn't see Jamal Murray in Canada. You saw Serbia, who, by the way, is, I don't think, as good as France overall. You saw Serbia. They took you to the limit one more time. It's the Eagles.
Who are you telling that?
Just in general. It's just it's for the audience. You know,
right,
it's for the Armada.
Because I got it. I was there.
Serbia took it to the limit. Now you get France, a team that getting a shot off inside of 8 feet is going to be nothing shy of a miracle, even for NBAers. This now becomes an issue of pride, and it becomes an issue of getting the little things right, which we did yesterday in the last 5 minutes of the basketball contest. You can't let France have 35 minutes where they're the better team because you won't be down 11. You'll be down 23. So we'll see what happens. We'll break that game down later on in the show. Coming up in the next hour of the show, water cooler cheat sheet out of the gate. Then we break down what we saw or maybe didn't saw last night in the Carolina Panthers preseason game number 1, a loss on the road at the New England Patriots. It was ugly. The weather. And also the game. You know what's not ugly? You know what is the definition of perfection? When Lonzo reads sports flashes.
Up to the minute, upstate.
The Carolina Panthers dropped their first preseason game to the New England Patriots last night, 17-3. Jack Plummer got most of the snaps at quarterback, going 11 for 21 for 86 yards, while recent addition Jake Luton went 7 for 9 for 38 yards. Mike Boone carried 8 times for 34 yards, and Jordan Matthews was the leading receiver with 3 grabs for 48 yards. The Atlanta Braves were rocked by the Milwaukee Brewers yesterday, 16-7. Charlie Morton was yanked from the game after 2.2 innings, surrendering a 9-hit and 8 runs. The Brewers recorded 20 hits, including 6 home runs, earning the 3-game sweep over Atlanta. The Braves' 5th consecutive loss, coupled with a Mets win, drops Atlanta to 3rd in the NL East and out of the playoff spots for now. Tune in this afternoon from 3 to 7 p.m. for a brand new local show, Wire to Wire. Cole Bryson and Diesel get you up to date on the latest local and national sports news. Great guests, great debate, whole lot of fun, all Wire to Wire. Yeah, I screwed up. That was my bad. I'll be mad at myself the rest of the day now. I'm not talking right now because I'm beating myself up in my head. No, I pushed the right button as I just didn't have the bed in there. So today I retire from my position. I go home.
Oh, we had a good run.
Yes. Don't blame Rob Snot. That's not what it is.
Let us hold. I'm at the point where everything's loosening up in here. You know, you can kind of start to feel it breaking up. I didn't cough up blood this morning. That was fun.
Well, that's always interesting. Yeah. I will blame the lack of air in here, and it's causing me to not think clearly. Maybe I need to complain to the chief.
Hey, it's Lonzo.
Why are you doing that? Don't do that.
Take control of your listening experience with Rewind on the Odyssey app. Missing jaw-dropping moments? No worries. The Odyssey app makes it easy. With Rewind, you can relive big moments from Rob Brown to Just hit Rewind with the Odyssey app on the fan upstate.
You know that goes out on the stream, right?
Yep. I don't know what to tell you.
Just turn your head, maybe? I don't know.
So I backed. Well, I didn't back way off.
I was going to say you didn't
I
that
thought I
time.
pushed it over there. I did not.
It's all your fault, Steven. You did that.
It is wild. These dudes hold themselves up with their fingertips, like just their fingertips. That is genuinely incredible.
The only thing I've ever done similar to that is there's a pegboard in the wrestling room where you do that thing to go up the wall. I could do that. But you got your full hand around. I'm going to stop talking now, but you know what I'm saying. New life in the first break.
10-4.
Good morning.
Our numero dos of the Rob Brown Show goes now. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Fan Upstate. Great to have you. I am Rob Brown, the great Lonzo on the other side of the metaphorical glass this lovely Upstate Friday morning. Lot to do, lot to get to, lot to talk about on the radio program today. But before we do any of that, allow me to tell you how you can be a part of it. The renewal by Anderson of the Carolinas fan phone is up for you right now at 844-326-3663, 844-FAN-FONE. You can text us at 71307, 71307. Start your text with FAN, F-A-N, FAN, F-A-N. We'll read them on the air. Like the texter that said, did you see Steph Curry last night, Zoe? Have you a bit of that? Yeah, we talked about that in the first hour, like a lot. Steph Curry's a dude. He is still a certified G.
Savior complex.
And you can't teach that. Dude went gangsta yesterday. We're going to talk about that in a minute in the water cooler cheat sheet.
He's only gangster if he does it in the gold medal game also. And consistency would say he won't.
Find out. 36 when they needed him the most. Talk about that coming up in a minute, as that is an item on the water cooler cheat sheet. We'll get to some football here in just a minute as well. Carolina Panthers opened up in the preseason yesterday. And we'll talk about what we saw and didn't saw in that game last night. We'll get some weekend NFL football as the rest of the league begins their preseason tomorrow. Well, tonight and tomorrow. So we'll talk some overall NFL preseason football coming up on the show.
Hey, real quick, why is Jacksonville in our region? I can't watch the Kansas City game tomorrow night, and I got to blame it on Jacksonville.
I blame most things on Jacksonville.
Why the heck is Jacksonville considered in our? I know Kansas City ain't, so it's got to be Jacksonville, right?
I don't know.
I clicked on it to record it, and it said regional blackout. Why?
Did it really?
Yes.
That's very interesting. It's very interesting. I'm not sure if the people who made that decision realized just how far we are from Jacksonville. The answer is not far enough, but that we are far.
Apparently.
We'll talk some preseason football coming up. Chiefs, by the way, will be playing their starters for a quarter in this game. Carolina had 30 inactives yesterday. Pretty much every starter.
32, actually, according to reports. But, I mean, you know.
All of them yesterday. Pulling people out of the stands. Oh, you got a jersey on. You want in for a minute? You know what? Let's just jump right in, all right? It is 7:03 in the morning. You are now less than 57 minutes away from having to get clocked in and locked in, from getting your day started, responding to those passive-aggressive emails from your supervisor. And then you're going to walk down the hall. You're going to head down to the break room, and you're going to take as much of a break as you possibly can. And you're going to talk sports. And if you're going to talk sports, you're going to need this.
Are you ready for the playbook of the peculiar, the almanac of the absurd, and the encyclopedia of the extraordinary? Well, you better be, because we're diving headfirst into the 3 top stories that will have your coworkers saying,
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
they take their first bathroom break.
No.
Here we go.
Welcome to the water cooler cheat sheet on the Fan Upstate.
It's the water cooler cheat sheet, top 3 sports stories that you need to know before you get to the office and start talking sports this morning. When you do, this is what you'll be discussing. Let us jump right in with item number 1. Carolina Panther preseason game number 1 got underway last night. A 17-3 victory by the New England Patriots over said Carolina Panthers last night. Again, if you watch these games for the wins and the losses, recognize that the preseason is not for you. Okay? These games are not about wins and losses. These games are explicitly about the team's development, improvement, progression, etc.
You're okay if they win, though, right?
I don't care.
So
you will never hear me.
That doesn't add a little something to it.
Nope. You will never.
So weird.
You have never, you will never hear me come in here one day and go, bang, 1-0 in the preseason. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, that would be Homer kind of talk. Yeah.
For your team, my team, any team. 3-0 in the preseason don't mean a damn thing. All right? The 0-16 Lions were 4-0 in the preseason. It means nothing. All right? Honestly, you should Little League not even keep score.
How do you know that if you don't care about the score, that they were 4-0? How do you know?
I don't care.
Okay, all right.
At all. Jack Plummer got the nod at quarterback for the Panthers last night, 11 of 21 for 86 yards, no tutties, no picks, although he did have 2 that probably should have and would have gone the other way had New England been playing their ones against Jack Plummer. But had New England been playing their ones, I assume Carolina would have played theirs, and those throws maybe don't happen.
No, I don't think they would. I don't think Carolina would have played their number ones no matter what.
Here's what I will say.
Because of injury. I know we're going to talk about it, but because of injury to the offensive line, they were not putting him out.
No, not at all. And not just him. Let's not just pretend like BY was the only guy not out there. Miles Sanders did not play. Chuba Hubbard did not play. Most of these guys did not play. In fact, of the guys that are expected to be starters who did play, there were like 2 linemen and John Mingo, who is technically listed as a starter on the depth chart right now.
They can't catch a ball that's thrown right to him. But anyway.
1 snag, 6 yards for John Mingo last night. I will say this. Jonathan Mingo, a guy that I had high-ish hopes for in the NFL, I don't think this cat's making the roster this year. I don't think John Mingo is going to be a member of this team in week 1. We'll find out. Jordan Matthews was your leading receiver last night. 3 catches for 48 yards. Terrace Marshall Jr., no catches, no yards. Same with John Mingo. Jalen Coker did have 1 catch, but it was for 3 yards on 2 targets. Emir Smith-Marset had 4 snags for 24 on 6 targets overall. The first quarter comprised of punt between the 2 teams. The second quarter comprised of punt, New England touchdown when it's all said and done. The third quarter, I think
that was due to a turnover by the Panthers also. And that's why they were in scoring position. If not, it probably would have been another punt.
After the touchdown, punt, end of half. That was the way the first half went. Second half, punt, field goal, punt, touchdown, field goal, end of game. That was every drive between these 2 teams. It was UGLY. But if you're looking for the silver lining, you did have a bit of an alibi. The weather sucked a lot. It was nasty. It was rainy. It was wet. When the conditions are like that, we give the starting quarterbacks a little bit of grace. I'll do the same with Jack Plummer. I'll tell you what I was looking for in that game, and I said it to Rashad. I said it on the show a few times yesterday. Jack Plummer was a guy we watched play at under Jeff Brom. Jeff Brom, a guy who is notorious at the college level for getting a lot out of quarterbacks. Jack Plummer was not good at Louisville. All right. This was a prospective pickup. This was a let's see kind of pickup. Jack Plummer is, and this is just my analysis, take it as you wish. Jack Plummer was worse at Louisville than he was last night. So I said to Rashad going into this game, I am looking at Jack Plummer not as can Jack Plummer make the roster, because the answer is no. Andy Dalton is there as your backup. He's more than serviceable as a QB2. BY is your starter, obviously. So it's not about can he make the active game day roster. It's will he be your practice squad QB1 / emergency QB3 should the need arise in the season? And the answer was, but based on what I saw,
you don't feel sorry for him. I mean, his first couple passes were crisp and they were dropped, and then the defense started playing well.
Oh, his numbers should have been better than 11 of 21.
And then the defense started getting into the backfield, and it was, I hope he doesn't die before this game is over.
So what I said to Rashad and what I said on the show yesterday was, I am looking to see what Jack Plummer looks like, because if Jack Plummer looks like a serviceable QB3, after what I saw out of Jack Plummer at, including, by the way, getting rocked in their bowl game last year, if he looks serviceable, then maybe this Dave Canales fella who was brought in to be a QB whisperer, maybe we can take a little faith in that is indeed what he is. And I will tell you, I am not unhappy with Jack Plummer. I'm not unhappy. Am I thrilled? Was I blown up? No. But it was windy. It was rainy. It was nasty. He's playing behind a hodgepodge, offensive line of guys that aren't going to be on a roster in 3 weeks when we kick off. It kind of was what it was. And I will say, it is what it is. About as good as I can ask for, I think, out of that game last night. We'll talk more about it later on in the show, but we got to get to item number 2. It was ugly. It was far more exhilarating than it needed to be, and it ultimately was a Team USA win. 95-91, the American men's basketball team knock off Serbia last night and earn themselves a berth in the gold medal game. Top performers, no doubt. First and foremost, Steph Curry, 36 points. He was 9 of 14 from 3, 12 of 19 from the floor. Also had 8 boards in this game. My man was everywhere last night. Second best performer, LeBron James. LeBron James, 16 points, but contributed a triple-double with 12 boards and 10 assists as well. Nobody else really jumped off the page, with the exception of maybe Joel Embiid, who was 8 of 11 from the floor, including 2 of 3 from deep, 19 points, 4 boards, and a pair of assists. Did have 3 turnovers in the game. 2 of them came in real bad spots for the Americans down the stretch. They were outscored by 11 in the first half. 2 more added in the third quarter, down 13 going into the fourth, but then outscored Serbia 32-15 in the fourth quarter, including a handful of clutch Steph Curry shots down the stretch. Look, I told you going in, Serbia is a threat. And I said yesterday on the show, be very careful about this game, because Serbia wants you to fall asleep. They want you to be overconfident if you are Team USA. They want you to come into this game thinking you just roll the red, white, and blue basketball onto the floor and get the dub. But this team is good. They are comprised of supplemental caliber NBA players centered around a guy who is a 2-time, should be 3-time NBA All-Star in his prime. Ended up being exactly what I thought it was going to be. A little closer. I said a 7.5-point win, ended up being by 4. But Team USA does get the win. They will play France, the home country. You thought the Serbian crowd was hostile. Wait until you take on France in France tomorrow at 3:30 with the Olympic gold medal on the line. Let's get to item number 3. I debated whether or not this was a cheat sheet topic, but my phone blew up about it last night. My NFL dudes were losing their mind. Great one. Did you see the interaction between Jerry Jones and CeeDee Lamb last night?
Yes. LOL.
Let me say exactly what CeeDee Lamb did. LOL. A tweet went up with a video of Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones was asked by a member of the media if there was an immediacy to signing an extension for star wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. When asked if it was any sort of hustle play for the Cowboys to get that done, Jerry Jones said, well, I don't know about that, but I know we're getting great work, making real progress, and I don't think losing a step at where we're at now. Effectively said, he doesn't, quote, and this is a direct quote, have a sense of urgency, end quote, about getting a contract extension done for the wide receiver. Lamb is entering the last year of a deal scheduled to play him $17.99 million this season. He did not report to training camp as he waits for a new contract to become one of the NFL's highest paid wide receivers. So the Cowboys placed Lamb on the reserve did not report list earlier this week to add a roster spot during camp. He will, of course, eat some fines as he waits for the new contract. Lamb reposted the video of Jerry Jones saying that he doesn't, quote, have a sense of urgency, end quote, to get the deal done. Lonzo, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor here. I'm going to ask you to give me your best dramatic reinterpretation of the CeeDee Lamb tweet from last night. Like, reach down deep into your Shakespearean roots. Channel your inner Sir Ian McKellen and deliver the CeeDee Lamb quote in a way that impacts me emotionally.
LOL.
It's not bad. It's not bad. And by the way, absolutely true to the source material in terms of the script of that moment. CeeDee Lamb reposted it with LOL. Jones, when asked whether he felt that sense of urgency and whether he felt the sense of urgency after that tweet, said through laughter, but like, you know, that nervous laughter where you're like, I'm in danger. You know that laughter in the movie where the wayward spouse is like kind of caught, but not all the way caught cheating. And the other one's like, hey, were you with her last night? And the husband's like, no, I was at work. I told you I was at the gym. Come on, you silly goose. I wasn't with her last night. I was working out. That kind of laughter. Jerry Jones said, quote, I don't know why I said that. I do, Jera. I do. Because you're out of touch, bud. Because you're out of touch. It's cooked. Ladies and gentlemen, am willing to declare we've been tiptoeing on this razor's edge for a couple of years now. I am happy to say that today, last night, officially, Dallas Cowboys fans, somebody send for a welfare check on Cole Bryson. You have entered the Al Davis zone. You have entered a point where the Cowboys cannot get right until Jera is no longer in charge. And not to be macabre, but there's only one way Jerry's not in charge of the Dallas Cowboys any longer. Let's take a break. When we come back, let's break down a little bit more Carolina-New England preseason game from last night. Would we see? Would we not see? I'll give you some thoughts when we return on the Rob Brown Show in the Fan Upstate.
You like?
All right, guys, quick read. We're coming back. Stay right there for me, please, and thank you. right, dudes and dudettes. Thanks for hanging in there. We back.
Mad World, next break.
10-4. Keegan told me yesterday that he started watching the Batman cartoon, said it was really good. No?
I talked to you about it yesterday too. You
We
probably
brought it
don't
up,
remember,
but you didn't say anything. You just said
I
you started
did.
watching it.
Yeah, I did. We had a conversation. It's okay. It's all right. It hurts every time, but because I told you how they made the penguin into a woman.
Yes, you did say that, but
Yes.
you didn't say if it was
What
good or
I
not.
said is I don't know yet. I don't hate it, but I don't love it like Batman the Animated Series or some of the other things. It's a little slow, but it's noir, so it's going to be that way to a degree.
So what do we see out of the Panthers preseason contest against the New England Patriots last night? First off, I don't think anything that tells you what this team is going to look like in week one. You had 30-plus starters who did not play last night. 30-plus. Honestly, I think that number is higher than that because I think there are a couple of dudes listed as starters that may or may not be when we get to week one because it is so early in the preseason. There's still time for guys to jump up, to jump down. But there are a couple of things that jumped out. Number one, and Lonzo has harped on this a couple of times, correctly and accurately. Wide receivers are, I am apprehensive. Now, again, we didn't see Deontay Johnson. We didn't see Adam Thielen last night. But there are two names that have been coming up in this preseason run that we have mentioned multiple times. Those names are John Mingo and Terrace Marshall Jr. Those two I need, and we've talked, I said this yesterday on the show. I said it to Rashad Beard. I said it to Lonzo. I said it to the Armada. I am confident in Deontay Johnson. I am confident in Adam Thielen. I need one of, minimum, John Mingo, TMJ, Amir Smith-Marset, or Xavier Legette. I need one of those dudes to be a dude. I got 4 guys. I need one of those dudes to be a dude. I would love 2 of those dudes to be a dude because if 2 of those dudes become a dude, now I got a 4-wide set when I need it. But if I can get one of those dudes to be a dude and feel comfortable in a 3-wide shotgun with the running back, I can justify that and go, all right, Raheem Blackshear, Chuba Hubbard, these are guys that can catch the ball out of the backfield. I'd love to be able to run a 4 or a 5-wide set, but I can justify having 3 plus a running back and a tight end and utilizing that as a base set even when we need big chunk plays. John Mingo and TMJ both had shots last night. John Mingo and TMJ were both not great last night, and I'm apprehensive about that.
Well, when we were previewing the game and talking about, I mentioned that it's going to be a different trajectory, different speed for than what they would be used to with Bryce Young, who has more of a touch than what Jack Plummer does. But it was right in their hands. And even Steve Smith had to correct himself. Oh, I threw it behind him. Well, I guess he didn't. You got to catch that, son. That type of thing. On defense, saw some guys stand out who really wanted to make the team. On offense, not so much. You saw a little bit of more of the same, which is scary, except for the tight end. And I can't remember his name. He used to be a receiver, and they were talking about how he had changed the tight end. I thought he
Jordan
stood
Matthews?
out. Yeah, I thought he stood out a little bit on offense. But that's about it.
Yeah, I think your offensive line last night, and let's frame the conversation this way. The guys that played last night are fringe guys. Those are guys trying to make the roster. Those are guys trying to earn a practice squad spot. Those are guys just trying to get a contract. Doesn't matter, just a contract last night. So I don't know, and this is why I said I don't care what your expectations are for the regular season. Your expectations last night should have been, does the system look like it's in place? And I will say, I wasn't unhappy. Now, the other part of this,
I was, and even Rashad mentioned vanilla because we knew it was going to be vanilla to a degree. The best system in the world is not going to work if they don't catch the ball. I'm gonna stop, but
no, you have to stop. That is correct. But what I would say is, what you saw last night was the equivalent of driving by a construction site that just has concrete poured and nothing else, right? Like you can see what it's going to be. You can see the shape of the building, but not much else. You can maybe even see, all right, there's going to be a bathroom over there because there's a pipe in the ground, and there's going to be a closet over here because of the size of this particular offshoot. Like, you can get some ideas of what this is going to look like, but you really don't know. How tall is it going to be? Is it going to be 2-story? We don't know yet. It's going to be 3, 4, 5 stories, so we don't know yet. 1 story, don't know yet. This big area over here, is it going to be 1 bedroom, 2, 3? Is it going to be a bedroom at all? Is it going to be, you don't know. You can get a rough idea of the shape, but not really any focus on it. And I think that's what you got last night. We got a relatively rough idea, concept of what this was going to look like, but not much else. And Lonzo absolutely correctly points out, Dave Canales might end up having the greatest offensive mind in the history of the NFL. But if you put a ball into the hands of John Mingo and he can't catch it, nothing matters. And what I can't do last night, great one, is write that off as, oh, well, it's preseason. My man, if at this point in your career, a few years in, if at this point in your career, you can't run a dig route and catch a ball that hits you in the hands, whether it's thrown by BY, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, or Rob Brown, if you can't catch that ball, you're not going to make it, my guy. You're not going to make it. And that's disappointing because if, as we mentioned on the depth chart, if Mingo, Leggett, Marshall, Smith-Marset, Jalen Coker, if any of these, who did have a catch, by the way, short catch, but did have a catch, if any of these guys are able to turn into a dude, that means that Carolina's last few draft classes will not have gone to waste. It will mean that the emphasis on picking up wide receivers to put around Bryce Young will not have been a waste. If none of these guys develop, and it's just Johnson, Thielen, and Young v. the world, you guys are screwed, dude. You guys are cooked. Because now I need effectively 4 defensive backs to cover up 2 wide receivers, and I'm putting friggin' 7, 8 in the box. Good luck running the ball against an 8-man front. I'm running a 4-4 with a single high deep safety, man coverage on Thielen and Johnson, and I wish you the best of luck. It's not going to work. So, the good news is I liked what I saw in terms of the raw foundation. Like I said, you got to see the concrete slab of the Dave Canales offense last night. And I was fine with it. I thought you saw enough variety in the run game to show me that this isn't going to be a team that has to rely on the power run or the finesse run. I think there was enough to show me that there's going to be a little bit of each mixed in. And I think you have to have that, not just for the sake of variety, keeping defenses on their toes, but also to make sure that you can move Bryce Young around as necessary and utilize the run game as a way to do that, as a tool in the tool chest of doing that. And if you can make that happen, I think you find yourself in a pretty good spot. Put him in the ankle lock, dude. Put him in the ankle lock right now. Sorry, we got wrestling on.
Ankle lock is illegal, but he got the 2 points for taking.
Is it illegal? Down. Kurt Angle did it with a broken freaking neck.
Yeah, but he never did an ankle lock.
Well, this wrestling's dumb.
That dude looks like Joe Hendry.
So I think the foundation was laid. I think the foundation is laid to show that there is variety. I think with Jack Plummer as your starting quarterback last night, again, and this is where transitive property of football comes into play as a theory. Jack Plummer at Louisville was a guy that showed a lot of panic. I can give him credit for this last night, Lonzo. He took a couple of shots in the pocket. There was never a point where I was like, oh, this kid looks terrified. This kid looks bad. A lot of rookie quarterbacks, a lot of young guys come into that spot. They take a shot or two, and you can see that, oh, I'm in over my head. Jack Plummer, in fact, Steve Smith credited him for a pass in the third quarter that got tipped down by a linebacker. Steve Smith said, let me tell you this, it looks bad because the pass got tipped. But look at Jack Plummer. He gets the snap. He stands high in the pocket. He delivers that throw with a rhythm and a timing that as a wide receiver, you appreciate him having. He never looked panicked. Does that mean that I'm going, oh, Jack Plummer's QB2? No, not at all. What it does mean is that the lessons of Canales, because the Jack Plummer I watched at Louisville did panic. He did. The Dave Canales influence on Jack Plummer, and this is subjective analysis from me that maybe no one agrees with or maybe everyone does. Subjectively speaking, to me, what I saw was a quarterback who was very happy feet and very rushy in college. Last night, even after taking some shots, was standing in the pocket and at least trying to deliver a rhythmic football, and that's appreciated.
That was one of the most boring preseason games I've ever seen. And I found myself more excited for some of the guys on New England side because they had some rookies that you're waiting to see get to play, including a couple Gamecocks and a certain quarterback who got in there. And just immediately there was the crowd got into it a little bit more. There's a little more excitement because you didn't know what he was going to do. That was the best part of the whole game to me. And I hate that I'm saying that about New England.
So I'll respond a couple of ways to that. Number one, I do enjoy preseason, getting to watch guys that I watched them play in college get their opportunity at the next level. That being said, I don't need exhilaration out of a preseason game in which 85% of the starters aren't dressed out. I don't need it. All right. Is it nice? Sure. Like if a guy number 6 on the wide receiver depth chart does something special, it's like, oh, okay, maybe there's a chance we stumbled into a dude here, right? I, as a Saints fan, I remember the preseason after we picked up Marcus Colston from Hofstra in the 7th round. He had a couple of moments in the preseason where you're like, did we accidentally find a dude? And we did. So that is nice. But if you tune into the game and go, well, that was boring, that's okay when I'm talking about guys trying to make the roster because it means guys weren't screwing up and maybe we got a foundation here.
I get what you're saying, but I wanted someone from the Panthers to stand out as far as those guys to look like they're really trying to make the roster. And you saw that a little bit on the New England side. You didn't see that on the Panthers side.
I get what you were saying, and I'm not disagreeing with what you were saying. What I am saying is keep in mind, all the guys that were wearing silver and white last night were up against a bunch of dudes wearing silver and blue last night, also trying to do that. There are some names I'm interested in that we saw last night. One of them is Lamar Jackson. No, not that one. Not that one. The other one. Lamar Jackson, the cornerback last night, kind of stood out a little bit. Kind of made a couple of plays on the ball last night. And I went, oh, maybe, especially for a team that has had plenty of issues with the defensive backfield getting injured, did we find a little depth here? Did we find a guy that we can plug into a spot if and when a JC Horn goes down that we can look and go, maybe this guy's got something. It's his third season in the league. Maybe we found a dude here. There were some guys that I thought showed consistency. And in preseason 1 with 30-plus starters out, I'm looking for that. But am I being subjectively optimistic? You tell me when we come back on the Rob Brown Show in the Fan Upstate.
My world.
All right, guys, one more quick read and we're back. Stay right there for me, please, and thank you. Here on a Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Carolina Panthers preseason game last night, 17-3. The Patriots win in a with a score that is irrelevant. I would say victory doesn't matter, points do. Victory matters not. What matters is, was your offense able to finish some drives? Was your defense able to stop some drives? That's what matters. That and not much else, right? Now, I will say There was one problem last night for the Carolina Panthers. They could not get a drive going, and they could not sustain a drive into the red zone last night. That's a problem. Those are the things I got to be concerned about. But again, and this is why I point out every time we have any sort of conversation, nuance and context matter. This is why I said I didn't just argue. I all but screamed yesterday. Wins and losses are not a quarterback stat.
I think you did actually scream.
I probably did.
Yeah.
Win and losses are not a quarterback stat. And arguing that wins and losses are a quarterback stat effectively says you don't care about the context of any situation except what the points on the scoreboard say at the end. And that matters for 3 hours on a Sunday afternoon. But that to me, if you invested your money with that mentality, you'd have some real good days and you'd be broke when it was all said and done, right? If you're a stock market investor and you get on and you look at your portfolio one day, I mean, it's just happened. This just happened. If you are a person who on Tuesday looked and saw your portfolio was down because of the stock market crash and went, uh-oh, and ran out of that room, you didn't get to ride it Wednesday and yesterday when the market regained all those losses, when it went right back to where it was on Monday, right? You bailed out and you panicked because you were, because of your panic, and I'm not a financial expert, so this is probably not a great example for me to use, but I did talk to somebody who is about this. If you panicked and you bailed out, you probably cost yourself some losses by being short-sighted and panicking because of a situation instead of looking at what this little situation, this momentary framing of the conversation says and going, all right, but how does that fit into a long-term strategy, a long-term target here? And I'm a little concerned that's what happens with people in these preseason games. So the context of the situation here is, yes, you had some wide receivers drop some footballs yesterday. That ain't great. That ain't great. That's a crash. Putting it into context, you had some guys that were getting thrown to by a third-string quarterback that likely they have had very little on-field and consistent timing with, right? Execution with. I suspect TMJ and John Mingo have not had a ton of full speed action with Jack Plummer. Probably got some since Andy Dalton went down with the quad a few days ago. But I suspect they have not had a ton of activity with Jack Plummer in a meaningful and sustained way. And I think you probably saw a result of that. As far as some of the offensive line, etc. Again, if you never played it, and this is something Zoe and I have both told you many times. Do you know why some of the most intelligent guys on the football team are your offensive linemen? Because with the exception of perhaps the quarterback, there's no more cerebral position than any of the five across the offensive line. You come up to the line of scrimmage, you go hand in the sand and get ready for the snap, and you look up and you see a 4-3, you got a set of rules that you got to know. And it's not just your rule, but what your rule is based on the front you're seeing may impact the guy's rule next to you, and his rule may change based on what you're seeing in your rule. And so if you come up and there's a Mike linebacker that's nose up on you, and pre-snap, he takes a one-step move to the left, your entire blocking scheme may change with one step. Not just yours, but the guys next to you as well, and you've all got to be on the same page. Defensive line, as a former defensive lineman, not as complicated. Ordinarily, you come to the line, you got a rule. You got one rule. I want you to line up in a 7 technique. I want you to attack the C gap. If the guard pulls, jump in his back pocket and go. And that's your rule, right? Like, that's kind of your thing. So in a preseason game, not just a preseason game, but preseason game number 1, my defensive line better win against a group of offensive linemen that are just trying to make it, right? My defensive line better win more than they don't against a group of offensive linemen that are effectively auditioning to make somebody's practice squad or to be somebody's reserve offensive lineman on the game day roster. That better be what happens here. And I think you got to see some of that last night. So, to me, you should not be panicking or exuding confidence from last night.
See, I came out of that game going, oh, okay, all right. I just want a little bit of a spark from somewhere, and I get if we would have got to see Xavier play, that would have been a little bit of excitement.
Sure, but my man's banged up. I'm certainly not sending out a guy that's already 90%.
But what if the second preseason game happens and we see the same thing? I know it's preseason, but you still want to see a spark. You want to see something. When Bryce Young and all the starters get in there, if it looks the same way as it did yesterday,
then I have a cause for concern. If my starters go out there and they don't have a click, then I think you have justifiable cause for concern. If BY goes out there and he puts a ball into the numbers for John Mingo and he just can't catch it, now I got a guy that can't catch. Now I got a guy I'm concerned about. If they go out there and BY is throwing 7 routes to a guy running a 5 route, now I got a cause for concern. They don't have the offense shaped up. Now I'm very worried. But that's not what last night was. Last night was 2s and 3s and 4s trying to make the roster. Sometimes, you ever heard the expression, you're doing too much? There's some of that out there last night, too. Do I want to see a guy, though, that's out there busting his ass to make the roster? Yes, I absolutely do. You know what I don't want to see? A guy goes out there busting it to make the roster, and he does too much. He overexerts to the point that it throws off the other 10 guys on the field at the same time. I don't think you saw that either, and there is some cause to settle with that.
I know it bothers you when I say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. There are people out there who are fans who do not get into the analytical side, don't care about the majority of the stuff you're saying. They just want to see a win. They watched that performance yesterday. Even if you do lose, as long as you see people standing out looking like they're trying to make the team, that it was very mad the whole way. And I could see why people will go, oh no, here we go again. The Panthers are going to be bad again.
That is, in my ever so humble yet frequently correct opinion, a you problem. That's a you problem. All right? That's the problem of a casual. Oh, to win a preseason game. Okay, well, I care about the long term, not my gratification for 3 hours. I'm not
going to, casual coming from you is like you're calling them a name, and I'm not going to do that. If you're a fan, you're whatever level of fan you are, I think it comes down to the end. Still, people want to see wins or losses, or at least it looked like that there is something that's improving over last year or the last couple of years.
Are football games won by one exciting play? No,
they can be.
They're won by
they
10. They're won by 9 guys doing the right thing, so 2 guys can do the exciting thing, and that's the spot. If somebody called this show right now and said, Lonzo, I'm not a radio professional, but I want you guys to tell more fart jokes because they make me laugh and they're exciting, you would go, get off my radio, you casual. That's what I do with football.
No, I would never call them a casual. It's such a slight to me because it seems like that's what you mean it to be.
I kind of do.
Okay. So,
I kind of do.
All right.
I kind of do. Odie says, Rob, sit back a little bit, man. I want to scan your shirt. Absolutely will, as Lonzo flashes you.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that. We're no strangers to love. The U.S. men's basketball team won a thriller over Serbia 95-91 to earn their spot in the Olympics gold medal. game. The Americans trailed by 11 at halftime and as many as 15 in the game, but outscored Serbia 32-15 in the fourth quarter to claim and keep the lead late. Steph Curry went 9 of 14 from three to finish with 36 points and added 8 rebounds. Joel Embiid went 8 of 11 and scored 19. The Atlanta Falcons will be without recently acquired wide receiver Rondale Moore, placing him on the injured reserve with a season-ending knee injury. The 23-year-old was listed as the fourth receiver on the depth chart. Make sure you tune in this afternoon from 3 to 7 p.m. for a brand new local show, Wire to Wire. Cole Bryson and Diesel will get you up to date on the latest local and national sports news. Great guests, great debate. It's also a whole lot of fun, and it's all Wire to Wire.
The band made these to wear on stage at a show one time. The only thing that stinks about it now is when you scan it, it shows you an ad before the video plays. But we made these back before the auto ads were at the beginning of videos.
Odie thought it was hilarious. By the way, he didn't get my hint. I knew he wouldn't. And so
it used to be that the video just started playing. So we all wore shirts with this on it one time for a show. And it was phenomenal.
Wait, that was a girl. Never mind. I was like, dude, fix your hair. And it was, let's go, KC Miracle. Was that Miracle? What a name.
KC Miracle. Oh God, that's foreshadowing.
Isn't it though? Hopefully they won't need a miracle to win, but that's funny, Steven.
Stocked up on Clorox disinfecting wipes because you're not messing up my kitchen counters like last time. Ooh, smart. Got any food coloring? Off to the store we go.
Stock up on Clorox disinfecting wipes that clean 3 times better. And with paper towels and kitchen grease and soaps companies as directed.
Total Wireless has made it totally keep up with you. We now have unlimited data that never slows you down. Covered by the Verizon 5G network. And for less than $30 a month, we make your phone your ride or die.
I'm guessing your snotty sports nerd impersonation would be awesome today. Just saying. You need to get like some nasal spray and just do it straight up on the air.
Yeah, on the air.
Yes. Excuse me, I need a squirt.
So my suit is like a drab green color.
Mm-hmm.
And I ordered my shoes last night. I can get them to show up. I'll show them to you.
New life and then next break.
Don't try to win me over, Texas Rangers. Don't try to win me. Don't you think that you've got the ability to win me over? You don't, all right? Yesterday, the Arlington Rangers got their opportunity to go visit the White House, as professional sports and college sports champions tend to do. They got the opportunity to go meet El Presidente at the White House. And they did a very dramatic walk down the hallway to the podium where they met President Biden and got their moment in the sun in recognition for winning last year's World Series. And as they walked down the hallway, they were serenaded by a symphony orchestra type band, like a small symphony orchestra kind of deal. And when you talk about walkout music, Lonzo, this is what the symphony orchestra played for the Rangers as they walked down the hallway to meet the president. That, of course, would be a classical version of Creed's Higher.
To me, a second to get it because the
I saw the recognition.
No, the drums were really strong, and I right away focused on them and was having, and then my mind went to where it needed to go. But yeah,
your brain was elevated to a new level. It went to a higher consciousness. I don't know what to tell you. I loved it immensely. It was the second greatest baseball. So for those of you that don't know, last year in their run to the World Series championship, the Rangers used Creed as their clubhouse jam. Higher was their clubhouse jam. And we all should have seen the World Series championship incoming for the Rangers. So when they walked out last night to meet El Presidente at the White House, that's what they elected to walk out to. I've made it no secret that I don't like the state of Texas. That's not true. The state of Texas itself is beautiful. All right. You've got some oases across that state. San Antonio is a lovely city. Houston has got some fantastic places to hang out. And if you're like me and you like the weird, Austin is messy. And I'm a big fan. I love Austin. I don't like Arlington. I don't like Dallas. I don't like the attitude that those people have. Okay? The people from Texas are some of the most, arrogant, over-the-top people. Like, Texas genuinely believes that they could just be a country tomorrow. They can't. All right? You can't do it. You're not good enough, Texas. But the Rangers going all in on Creed to drive them to a World Series championship, I kind of got a soft spot for that team now. It is a great one. The second greatest baseball song that's ever been recorded. And this felt like, when I heard this yesterday, a wonderful time, because it's been a few minutes. It seemed like a wonderful time to break out for the first time in a while the greatest baseball song ever recorded. How did the Marlins ever lose a game? How were they this bad? The Marlins have no excuse to be this bad. They're one of 2 National League teams that are out of a playoff spot right now. All right? Well, out of contention for a playoff spot. By the way, the Braves no longer in a playoff spot. Season ended today. The Braves aren't going to the postseason. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute. But I don't understand how the Marlins ever lose another game. There's no excuse for it. There's no reason for it when they have this. Scott Stapp gave you a personalized fight song. A fight song, not just like generic, you picked a song and made it your fight song, like the Rangers did. And good on them for doing it. They picked a banger. You had an opportunity here, Marlins, to do something special, which was win every World Series ever played ever again. After Scott Stapp handed you a personalized fight song and you blew it. It's irresponsible. It's unacceptable. The Rangers, on the other hand, decided to take theirs and write it right to the natty. To take theirs and not just win a title with it. But when these guys look back and tell their kids and their kids' kids about the time that they met the President of the United States as the reigning, defending, undisputed world champions of baseball, that they walked down the hallway to Creed to do it. Spectacular. Hey, while I'm right here, there was another moment that dropped that I found and absolutely adored. There's a pitcher by the name of Andrew Chafin. Andrew Chafin is a closer who is currently employed, as it stands post the trade deadline, by the Texas Rangers. I don't want to. Anyway, he got brought into the clubhouse after the deadline, and the other day did a little media appearance where a reporter asked him how he was fitting in. Now, before I play this audio, and I'll bring the picture up here for the great one in the stream, facebook.com/thefanupstate, the Fan Upstate of the Rob Brown Show on YouTube, the Rob Brown Show on Twitch. I'm going to show you young Andrew's picture here in just a minute, and then this clip will make a ton of sense.
Oh, I love it so far. There's actually a few other rednecks on this team, so we can sit and talk about fun stuff I like talking about, and no, it's great.
Can you enlighten us on who the other rednecks are and what you guys talk about?
Nope.
No, you can't, not even one?
No, we talk about trucks and heavy equipment and stuff like that. That's all you're going to get.
My man said, I fit in because there's a bunch of rednecks, and when asked about it, said, yeah, I'm not going to tell you who the rednecks are, but we talk about trucks and heavy machinery and a few other things that I like.
Sounds like he had a bit of a chaw, something in there when he was talking. You know, those guys kind of have a talk like they got something in there when they're talking.
I wouldn't be shocked, Great One, and I wouldn't be shocked.
A pinch of something. I don't know.
I'm about to show you
Skull
why.
or one of Copenhagen.
Let me show you why. And again, if you're not watching on the stream, now's a wonderful time to do it because I'm about to show you exactly why. And the beautiful thing is that I am relatively confident that
you're gonna get us flagged again, aren't you?
No, I don't think so. This is just a picture. I think we're allowed to use that. This is why. This is Andrew Chafin. This man with that glorious stash and that slapping mullet is the man who said, I fit in well in the clubhouse.
He sounds a lot younger than he looks.
He does. You're not wrong. I'll even move the logo so you guys can get just the full face of glory from this guy. My dude is rocking a 10 of 10. And just so we're clear, Zoe, because you see guys like this sometimes they have the full head. No. This is mullet central, bud. A+, backwoods, I drive a Chevy Camaro mullet. And that stash that looks like he could have starred in the movie Tombstone and not stood out.
Wow, if I drove a Chevy Camaro, I'd be really mad about typecasting right now.
I mean, an old Camaro, like the sleek Camaro, like not the boxy new age Camaro, the old Camaro that was just one straight line backwards. The Camaro that my high school girlfriend Sarah drove.
All right, no, this dude's an El Camino guy. He did for sure.
That's not unfair.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
My dude
Is it a
said,
truck? Is it a car? Yes.
My dude said, I fit in because we got rednecks in the clubhouse who like talking about what I like talking about. Do you want to tell us who they are? No. In fact, you know what? Screw it. I'm playing it again.
Oh, I love it so far. There's actually a few other rednecks on this team, so we can sit and talk about fun stuff I like talking about, and no, it's great.
Can you enlighten us on who the other rednecks are and what you guys talk about?
Nope.
No, you can't. Not even
Nope.
one?
No, we talk about trucks and heavy equipment and stuff like that. That's all you're going to get.
What kind of heavy equipment? Or do you like bulldozers and stuff, or backloaders?
I mean, whatever we got out, I can't even do it. Whatever we got out in the front yard, I suppose. All right, we talk about my Chevy F650.
He also sounds like he might be running a garage out in the middle of nowhere at the beginning of a horror movie. I'm just saying.
Got the 450s on the back of it, dual catalytic converters. I don't know what any of these things mean, but that's what Andrew says. All right. I got them aluminum wheels, the big ones in the back. I'll tell you right now, you want to walk out to the truck with me right now, I got a cold 46 pack of Busch Light out there. We can crack a bush right now.
Got daggum twin Hemis.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. If one Hemi ain't enough, two Hemis ought to do her. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to walk on out back to the truck. We're going to pop open, shotgun a couple of them Busch Lights that's out there on ice. Because ain't nothing better after a baseball game, Lonzo, than a cold beer. Not beer, a cold beer.
Daggum.
Got to get a cold beer. We're going to drink us a cold beer. We're going to take us a swig of Jack Daniels right out the bottle.
So did you decide to go through, you probably should take that picture down. Did you decide to go through the roster and try to figure out who the other rednecks are?
No, but that seems like a fun game to play.
Just by picture? I mean,
Seems like a fun game to play. Because there's a couple of options, but not a ton, right? And again, I don't mean to stereotype or typecast, right? I don't mean to stereotype or typecast, but I suspect there's going to be some dudes on the roster that you're like, all right, not that guy, right? Clearly not that guy. That guy's not going to be the guy that goes out there and goes, I caught a 7.4 pound bass this weekend, boys. I'll tell you what, I took him home, mounted him. He's hanging right over the bedroom where me and the missus spend our evenings. Now, if any of y'all want to go out to the truck, I got some deer jerky. I done killed it yesterday. Took it home, cooked them right up.
Got that stuff processed quick. I thought it had to, maybe you got a, what are they?
Nope.
A dehydrator?
My grandpappy done taught me how to make jerky in 22 seconds. I hit this sucker on the way home last night. I took him home, and we gonna feast today, boys. Y'all want some jerky before you go up to the at-bat? Okay, that's a thing that, all right. We're not even addressing that.
He just teched him with that, though.
Well, yeah, because he just performed a move that's like TVMA in the pro wrestling. That dude just hit the other dude with a move that Rob Gronkowski thinks is hilarious.
I knew you would go there.
How do you not? Good job on professional wrestling Orange Cassidy, by the way.
You mean amateur wrestling, Orange Cassidy?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Because professional wrestling, Orange Cassidy is professional.
I'll tell you right
wrestling,
now, I
Orange
done
Cassidy.
watch these boys rolling around in their cute little ballerina unitards
Oh,
out
stop
there.
it!
And
Stop it!
I'm just saying, when I was
It's a singlet, man. It's a singlet.
when I was growing up, they never would have let that be shown on TV. That's just filth, is what that is. Anyway, that's Andrew Chafin. He's a man's man. He goes into the baseball clubhouse. He talks about truck and heavy machinery. Just the one truck, though. All right, his Chevy 19Z 5043 1974 special that Grandpappy gave to me back when I was a boy.
Don't need them daggum Fords.
Shane said, oh my God, I have a boss that loved to hunt. And like my first week, he let me try his homemade deer jerky, and I've been craving it ever since. I'm going to tell you all this is jokes aside. That voice I was doing, not a joke. That's my uncle. All right. That's my Uncle John L. We call him John Hell. He lives out in the woods in Crestview, Florida. And that's how he talks. And I'm going to tell you right now.
Does he hunt them gators?
No, he hunts deer. He hunts whitetail right there on the property. All right. He got him about a dozen dogs, live out in the kennel, out up on top of the hill. He takes them out back every hunting season. And I'm going to tell you, ain't nothing better than when grandmama picks up the phone. She goes, hey, your Uncle John L. just stopped by. He brought about 40 pounds of deer jerky. You want to come get? I'll be there in a minute. I'm going to go buy a pickup truck with a dual Hemi in it to make sure I can carry that all back to the house. We can make all the Andrew Chafin redneck jokes we want. If y'all ain't never had a redneck call you up and offer you some deer jerky or some fresh backstrap that they done cooked up at the house, you ain't lived right. All right? You just ain't.
All right, you're gonna have to after the break describe or during the break what backstrap is, because
Deer meat. It's the best part of the deer. It's the deer that runs from the legs up over the shoulders.
Just never heard it called backstrap before.
Backstrap.
Okay.
Now, I'll tell y'all what we're gonna do. Me and Lonzo, we finna run to a break, and during that break, I'm gonna explain to Lonzo exactly what backstrap is in the proper way to spice up your deer jerky before you start. It's the #1 Christmas snack you can get. All right. So thank y'all for being here. We appreciate it. Much obliged. That fella over there, that's Alonzo. My name is Rob Brown. We appreciate y'all being a part of the show, and we're going to be right back. It's the Rob Brown Show right here on the Fan Upstate. Hell yeah.
Good life.
All right, guys. One more lead and we're back. Stay right there for me. Sorry, I'm an idiot.
I brought us back, by the way. I have a question for you.
I have an answer for you.
Why do you not? You didn't have a problem with the Rikishi stink face, but that bothered you.
There's a big difference there.
Yeah, because no parts were touched on that.
No, that's just hilarious because of the memes. Immediately in my head, I just heard Gronk go nice and start laughing.
Do you want to lose a match and the medal
for the record? There was a moment in a Triple H match where H got Batista bombed onto somebody, and they did that, and I laughed every bit as hard. That's objectively hilarious to someone with the mind of a 15-year-old boy, and that's me.
Okay.
If I said half the things that I was thinking on the radio, I'd either be fired or on the Howard Stern show.
I've heard some of your and Chris's conversations.
Correct.
So yeah.
Correct.
Of course, I never would partake in any of those. Because,
Talk to me more about the climbing wall at the wrestling gym. The Rob Brown Show rolls on. It's the fan upstate. I am Rob, the great Lonzo on the other side of the ones and twos this AM. Max said my mom would make spaghetti with deer meat. Yo, I'm telling you, deer meat is dramatically underappreciated.
It really depends on how it's seasoned. I mean, because it can be real gamey if it's not seasoned correctly.
I thought good food didn't need seasoning.
Well, that does.
Oh, that does.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I didn't say it was good food, did I?
Love me some deer meat. All right, we've been bouncing around a little bit of anything and everything.
Almost made some deer meat this morning, but the deer made the right decision at the last second.
There it is.
Probably a couple inches away from
some backstrap,
from not being here. Probably, yeah.
3 games coming up tonight. The Atlanta Falcons will open their preseason on the road against the Miami Dolphins. The Houston Texans will play preseason game numero dos. They are on the road at Pittsburgh, and the Eagles and the Ravens will have a Bird Bowl at M&T Bank in Baltimore, Maryland this evening. Those games at 7 o'clock, and 7:30, respectively. Atlanta tonight, I'm interested. Rondale Moore is a wide receiver they picked up this offseason. Rondale Moore was projected to be the number 4 wide receiver on the depth chart, but is a slot receiver specialist. I am intrigued in what they do after they lost Rondale Moore for the season. On Wednesday afternoon, Rondale Moore was carted off of the field in an air cast. Yesterday, the Falcons confirmed that it was a season-ending knee injury. Did not, at least that I saw, specify any further than that, but did say it was season-ending. Rondale Moore now unavailable for the Atlanta Falcons. So what do the Falcons do in order to throw the football to a slot receiver? I have been saying for a while now, I actually really, really like Atlanta's skill position set this year. I think Drake London has been widely underappreciated. I think Darnell Mooney is a wide receiver that has the opportunity this year to have genuinely have a breakout season. He spent the last 4 years with the Chicago Bears. In 2021, got 140 targets, crossed 1,000 yards. Last 2 years, a couple of injuries that hampered him a little bit. 61 targets each of the last 2 years. Just under 500 yards in 2022. Just over 400 yards last year for the Bears. But let us not forget that the Chicago Bears the last 2 years have been a dumpster fire.
Okay, who needs a map to help find the end zone?
Doug Eberflus. That's who. By the way, I did watch episode 1 of Hard Knocks Chicago Bears last night. My number one takeaway was that while I think it is fantastic that the Bears broke out an old school slip and slide to teach their quarterbacks how to slide because they asked the QB room, do y'all know how to slide? Did you ever play baseball? And the entire QB room went, no. They asked Caleb Williams, how do you think you slide? And his answer was, I just know my feet got to be up, which is correct.
Some of those guys don't know that.
There've been some ugly sliders.
And they get injured.
Yeah. So how did they teach the boys how to slide? They took the entire QB room out to a slip and slide on the practice field to teach them how to slide. Great idea. The best part of the entire episode, aside from the Nick Saban quote that I played you the other day because Nick Saban said, yeah, Rob Brown's right. You should listen to him. He knows ball. Was that they put all 8 guys in the QB room onto one golf cart to bring them out there. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I don't know why I fell out laughing at that. They have one golf cart. Anyway, watched it last night. It was enjoyable. It was enjoyable. So the Bears have been trash, which makes sense why Darnell Mooney's numbers would have come down. Shane said Mooney has had a 1,000-yard season, but he's had subpar QB play. That's putting it nicely, frankly. Okay? The Bears have been trash. Right now on the depth chart, Atlanta's got Ray McCloud that is going to be moving up into the role that Rondale Moore was supposed to fill on the depth chart. Rondale Moore, of course, Ray McCloud, of course, is a former Clemson Tiger. So you will likely see a Clemson guy. Now, Ray McCloud is also, despite the fact that he's been in the league for 5 seasons now, not a guy who gets a ton of looks. Played for Buffalo back in 2018. He had 6 targets on the season. Played for Pittsburgh in 2020 and 2021, had 22 and 66 targets respectively. His best year came in 2021 in Pittsburgh, 66 targets, converted 39 into catches for 277 yards. He has been with the 49ers the last couple of years. No shame in not having great numbers as wide receiver 4 or 5 on that team, because that team has been arguably the best wide receiver core in football the last 2 seasons. 25 targets in 2022, converted 14 into catches for 243 yards and 1 touchdown. In 2023, last year, played in only 12 games, had 15 targets, caught 12 of them, $135, no tutties. Did have a 41-yard grab. He's kind of been a deep ball specialist. Here's why I am now concerned for the Falcons. Because Ray McCloud is your deep ball threat guy. He's your guy that you put him out in a slot, you try to get him a mismatch against a man corner, and you try to have him cook that guy over the top because the over-the-top safety is shaded to the other side of the field to the primary. That's the goal for Ray McCloud. I don't think that he really fills that role all that well with Atlanta. And on top of that, and here's where Kirko is going to get questioned for Atlanta. Kirk Cousins' specialty is not the deep ball. All right? Kirk Cousins has looked like he's got a good deep ball the last couple of years because Kirk Cousins has been working with a couple of exceptional wide receivers. He's got, again, a good wide receiving core in Atlanta, does Kirko. But he does not, I don't think, have that exceptional deep ball wide receiver. Now, Ray McCloud hasn't really had to, I really shouldn't say had to, hasn't really gotten the opportunity to be that guy because he's played on teams with Debo and Ayuk. Guys that are bona fide, genuine number 1 and number 2 guys, but also guys that can run the deep ball route and run it effectively, run it efficiently, which takes the need off of Ray McCloud. Can they do that within the Atlanta offense? Because they, again, I don't know that you necessarily want to say they have the deep ball wide receiver. Drake London, who last year had 110 targets for turned into 69 catches for 905 yards, is a dude that gets you 13 yards a catch on average. He had one, I think, 40-ish yard reception last year, and that's pretty much it. That is a slot that Ray McLeod, I'm good at this, can theoretically slide into. My question is, can Kirko take advantage of that? Can Kirko utilize that? That being said, I don't know what we're getting out of Atlanta tonight. I don't know that Atlanta is going to roll the starters out tonight. I don't know what we are going to see. The Falcons did release their depth chart ahead of this game. There are some interesting pieces of information available in it, but I don't know how much time, if any, we're going to get out of different guys. Kirk Cousins is listed on the depth chart as the starter. At the wide receiver, Drake London is listed to start out there. Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod is slotted in as a starter. And Bijan Robinson is slated to play tonight. But how long do we get to see anything out of the Atlanta offense? All right, there's some Falcons preseason for you. When we come back, let's take a look down the rest of the preseason schedule for the weekend. And we'll talk about what we're looking for in preseason games number 1 for most of the teams. We'll do that coming up on the Rob Brown Show. Rob, Lonzo, and you. It is the Fan Upstate. David Copperfield in my pen. Oh, dude, sweet.
You found it finally.
I don't know where a pen went, but I found the cover to my headphones.
That's what I figured it was.
It is once again warm in this room.
Looks like guys gathering together, trying not to drown in the ocean.
Hold me up, I can't swim. Hey, look, I don't look poor anymore.
Well, I mean, from a certain perspective, you probably do. But ooh, bring back the wrestling. I want to see people almost drowning.
I mean, this is kind of is wrestling.
No, this is like water MMA.
Which would you rather? No, that's not even a question. I'd rather wrestle than play water polo.
Yeah, I can't. I don't swim very well, so yeah.
Shut the front door. The week before I go to Florida for the wedding is the Upstate Renaissance Fair.
Is that the one that's where?
Greer.
Okay.
I do want to go to the one in Charlotte.
We keep talking about it forever.
I know.
I haven't been since before COVID, so it should be back open again.
So much snot. Kobe.
Well, tickets are now on sale, so when is it open? Oh, wow. They don't open until October now. So October to November.
The Rhine Fair?
Yeah, the one in North Carolina.
That's the one I want to go to.
Yeah, the big one.
Yeah.
Which I've been to a couple times.
Is it worth going? I assume it is.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. But the fact that they moved it more to a fall is better for them because it's not nearly as hot.
Yeah.
Now we got something. But the thing is, it's open Saturdays and Sundays. So
That's
the only
most
day I
shocking
can
thing I've ever said to you. I've never been to a Ren Fair
ever. Well, that's the one to go to.
Yeah.
I guess the one you're talking about would be a good starter one. It would be like the equivalent of going to a county fair, and then going to this one would be going to the state fair. Both good, but good on different levels.
The Rob Brown Show continues. It's the Fan Upstate. Rob, Lonzo, and you. 844-326-3663. That is the renewal by Anderson of the Carolinas fan phone. 844-FAN-FONE. Houston at the Steelers tonight. We will, my understanding, not see Russell Wilson. If, big capital I on this, if, which he won't, Justin Fields is going to take Russell Wilson's job before week 1. Again, he's not going to.
You keep saying that, but high praise from everyone on the team about how he's been doing.
What are they going to say? Oh, he's really disappointing. We traded a lot for this guy. Too bad he stinks.
You just don't talk about him because there's a brewing quarterback controversy.
There's not a quarterback controversy.
You're right.
Mike Tomlin has already said it. Russell Wilson's QB1.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's established that.
Mm-hmm. He can also change his mind.
I mean, sure. He could.
Because of stellar play in actual game
Sure,
action.
and Justin Fields could also stink, but we're not playing the also game. We're playing the what is game.
All I know is that one's actually on TV and I can watch it. So
that one is on TV on
the
NFL Network. NFL Network.
Yes, because they advertised it last night.
Atlanta, Miami on NFL Plus, same as Philly at Baltimore tonight. Derrick Henry not playing for the Ravens in the preseason at all, and he's one of those guys that I'm very good with that, right? I'm good with King Henry not playing in the preseason because of the way that he plays and because of the fact that if the Ravens are going to get themselves another crack at Patrick Mahomes and his Messiah complex, they're going to need Derrick Henry to be a dude for them. So I don't want to knock too much tread off the tires. Derrick Henry knows how to run the football. He knows how to play. Now, do I want him getting some snaps inside of the new offense? Yeah. But Derrick Henry's not a guy that you're putting a very complicated run scheme around, right? Derrick Henry's not a guy that you're putting a whole bunch of chaotic, crazy left, right, up, down runs around. Derrick Henry's a dude that you're handing the football and saying, go that way. Go that. See that patch of grass down there? That's a different color. Go touch that grass. That's what I need out of you. So I'm not worried about that. Here is my question. As we enter week 1 of the preseason, a week 1 in which some teams are going to play some starters. Atlanta, clearly one of them. We've already talked about it. The Chefs are going to be playing their starters for an entire quarter. Rashad talked about this on the PMP live stream last night, and I thought it was a worthy conversation of having. The reigning, defending, undisputed NFL champions, led by a head coach in Andy Reid that I'm comfortable saying knows what he's doing to some degree, they are playing their starters. Lonzo, you good with them coming out for an entire quarter?
Absolutely. Now, if they do this today, they probably don't play the rest of the preseason.
I mean, assuming they play well, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Was that disrespectful?
Yeah. Well, it was. My laugh was definitely sarcastic.
I'm good with it.
If they come out and play poorly, does he say stay in the game? Probably not. I think they're good. I want to see this because I want to see, even though we won't see a whole lot of them, probably what Xavier Worthy looks like.
He's probably going to look fast. He's going to look small, but fast.
That's what I'm guessing. Probably pretty fast. Yeah.
I'm more intrigued in because we've talked about this. Xavier Worthy, who to me, as a rookie, and I don't think you ever want this, but I also think sometimes you don't have a choice. Xavier Worthy, I think, is your key this year to getting back. I think he is the key to getting back.
Hollywood Brown is going to get touches. Scott Moore is going to get touches. We know Kelsey's going to get touches. I know, there's enough of spreading the ball around that he will not be a focal point. And all I can say is if he can catch, those guys, when they're dinked and dunked by Kansas City, better look out because suddenly he's going to break open.
Hollywood Brown's is a very good wide receiver who, by the way, can occasionally suffer from a bout of the dropsies, which was a huge problem for y'all last year.
But he's still an upgrade over what they've had the last couple of years.
I don't disagree with that either. He's absolutely an upgrade because, again, you guys, just like Hollywood Brown, suffered from a pretty big case of the dropsies last year. And that's a problem.
No, that was all Patrick Mahomes' fault.
Well, yeah. I mean, he got so carried away in his Messiah complex, he left everybody else behind.
Everyone said that it was all his fault, which was very disrespectful.
And now they ranked him the number 4 player in the NFL.
Yeah, good move.
Oof.
And some teams make fun of him with a Kermit the Frog puppet. So, I mean,
Patrick Mahomes here. It's pretty funny, all right? It's not like it's a joke that nobody's made.
He doesn't look like he thinks it's funny, though. That's all I'm saying.
Well, if we thought jokes were funny based on the people that they were about, this would be a lot shorter show.
Would you have made fun of him?
Not if I played in the NFL. Not if I was a defensive back. By the way, Caleb Williams said yesterday that, who was it? Jared Goff is a top 2 quarterback in the NFL. Did not list Mahomes in his top 4.
Yeah, did not. Way to go, guy who's never been on the field yet.
I adore. All right, I adore, and you should too, Colonel Grudge. You should have immense respect for this. All right, you're the king of grudges. I adore that the entire league has decided Mahomes has won enough. Let's all get after him. The whole league, even the league itself, putting out their top player power ratings. We're like, yeah, we're not putting that dude number 1.
I don't.
The whole league go get him.
I don't recall Joe Montana being disrespected like this, or Tom Brady, or any.
Lonzo doesn't remember Tom Brady catching strays. Definitely not
by people in the NFL.
Yes,
that's what we're talking about. I don't recall that. No, I don't.
They made fun of his. The roast was pretty good.
Yeah, but that was well after his career was over, like a year later.
Thomas Wayne Allen,
although he
Brady
has said if the situation was right, he would come back.
To a roast or to the league?
To the league.
Did you see the pictures he put up the other day? Bro is shredded right now. Like, he looks better now than he looked as a player.
I'm not sure it's natural. He has a history of cheating.
Tell you what, Tom, let me know your cheating strategy because I might be in, bro.
So which is the right way? I guess there is no right way. Do you play your starters in the first game or do you not? You have to pick a game. It's usually one game where the starters play for a couple series or a quarter.
See, I think I subscribe to it. Okay. In a perfect world where my team is healthy and in a rhythm, I do it in game 1. And I do it in game 1 so that if somebody catches a tweak or a bruise or whatever, I'm giving them like 3 full weeks to get right for week 1 when it matters. I don't have an issue, say, for instance, not playing Bryce Young last night if I'm Carolina, right? Because the not only have some guys...
That was a safety issue for sure.
Exactly. Not only do I have some guys banged up, but the guys that are banged up are the guys that have a direct impact on Bryce Young's health and well-being.
By the way, I love they were interviewing and asked him if he wanted to be out there. You could tell he did not. But
he said, I love cheering on the boys. I love being over here and cheering on the fellas. You know, at the end of the day, we're all... Here's my favorite thing. And I may be misremembering how he phrased it, but I'm pretty close. I think. He was like, at the end of the day, we're all competitors. But he didn't follow that up with, so of course I want to be out there. He was like, at the end of the day, we're all competitors. So I'm just rooting on the guys. I'm like, those are different things, Bryce. Those are different things.
Oh, you could see it in his eyes. He was so grateful he was not out there last night.
And don't get me wrong, I'm grateful he wasn't out there last night too. Because again, you'd be putting him behind guys who are trying to make the team as offensive linemen against guys who are trying to make the team as defensive linemen. So those defensive linemen, they kind of get their name mentioned if they, rack a starting QB into the turf. They kind of get talked about a little bit. So yes, in the situation like last night, I think Dave Canales made the right decision to not roll Bryce Young out there. The Chiefs, on the other hand, no problem with them starting week 1. Because again, if Mahomes takes a helmet to the ribs and he needs a couple of weeks to get his breath right and back under him, I'm giving him effectively 3 full weeks plus to get back and get right. If Xavier Worthy catches the first ball and he dives headfirst into the turf and gets concussed, I'm giving him 3 weeks to get through protocol and be ready for week 1. I think it makes sense. So, and this was a conversation that was going on around social media last night in regards to the Panthers, was like, why are we, whatever. I think it is, like most things, something that people want to address with like a broad blanket over 32 NFL teams. And the reality is, not all teams are created equal. They're not all teams. In fact, most teams aren't in the same place as other teams. The Chiefs are, I'm comfortable saying, Super Bowl ready, right? They're Super Bowl ready. They're bringing back the core of last year. The additions that they have made that are important to the team are vets, with the exception of Xavier Worthy. And again, I say this respectfully, Xavier Worthy's job is run fast that way and be ready. That's your job. Take the top off the defense. And if the single high doesn't go with you, or if the double high doesn't shade to you, be ready in case Mahomes uncorks a dinger ball at you. Just be ready. Run fast that way and be ready. That's his whole role in this offense, I think. Now, maybe Andy Reid gets me. Maybe we see Xavier Worthy running some more complicated patterns. Maybe we see him playing a little more underneath. I doubt it. We'll find out. But that's his job. So the Chiefs are effectively Super Bowl ready today. So yeah, roll your starters out there in week 1. Let your starters get some full speed reps. Give them 3 weeks off if they need it, versus a team like Carolina that you go, you guys are nowhere near ready. Your offensive line is dinged up. Your wide receiver core is dinged up and old. We're gonna take it easy. We're gonna ease in a little bit. Let some of the young guys who you're gonna have to rely on for stretches this year. It is arguably more important that some of the younger guys, some of the reservists, get more PT than some of the vets. I need more PTs, though, for John Mingo and Terrace Marshall Jr. than I need for Adam Thielen.
Especially after last night, for sure.
I mean, even if we didn't have last night, I need Mingo or TMJ or Leggett or whoever to step up and be a dude so that I know who my next dude is when the season starts. I know what Adam Thielen can do. He just did it. I know what Deontay Johnson can do. He just did it.
I think in one sense you can try to judge them by who's throwing them the ball, but he threw the ball right to him last night. Jack Plummer wasn't like it was on near the dirt or was way too high. He was throwing the ball to them and they were just dropping it.
He had a couple that were a little bit off, but he's also a third string quarterback, right? Like that's not BY. If BY was throwing the ball like Jake Plummer or Jack Plummer last night, how many times did you do that yesterday? I did it like 17 times.
A couple. It was done a bunch on the broadcast too.
Oh, for sure.
I think even Steve Smith did it a few times.
He did. I think Anish at one point got him. Was like, yep, not Jake. Definitely Jack, no relation. So you are correct. It wasn't like he was bad, because he was not bad. It wasn't like he was missing. He wasn't missing. He had a couple that were a little high, a little low, but like catchable footballs.
Well, later in the game, he got a little worse because he got beat up.
Oh, for sure. And also the weather was getting progressively worse throughout the evening. Again, it's part of the elements, right? This is why all NFL stadiums should be dumbed over.
You know, it didn't stop New England from scoring. So
don't disagree. I don't know. I don't have an issue. I don't have a problem with Canales not rolling out 32 starters last night. I don't have a problem with that. I also don't have a problem with Andy Reid rolling out, not just rolling his starters out tonight, but rolling them out for a full quarter. I'm good with that. All right. Let them go out there, get some live full speed reps. If they get dinged up, you got 3 weeks. If they don't get dinged up, great. If they come out and they suck, you go, all right, boys, we're doing it again next week till you get it right. And if they come out and they absolutely smoke, then cool. Good job. All right. We'll see y'all in week 1. Everybody go home. Relax. Right. So I think I think like most things, what makes sense for Kansas City doesn't make sense for Carolina and vice versa. Segue by saying the Andy Reid of sports flashes.
I do love cheeseburgers. The Carolina Panthers dropped their first preseason game to the New England Patriots last night, 17-3. Jack Plummer, not Jake, got most of the snaps at quarterback, going 11 for 21 for 86 yards. That's not real good. While recent addition Jake Luton went 7 for 9 for 38 yards. Mike Boone carried 8 times for 34 yards, and Jordan Matthews was the leading receiver with 3 grabs for 48 yards. The Atlanta Braves also lost. Were rocked by the Milwaukee Brewers yesterday, 16-7. Charlie Morton was yanked from the game after 2.2 innings, surrendering 9 hits and 8 runs. The Brewers recorded 20 hits, including 6 home runs, earning the 3-game sweep over Atlanta. And make sure you tune in this afternoon from 3 to 7 p.m. for a brand new local show, Wire to Wire. Cole Bryson and Diesel get you up to date on the latest local and national sports news. Great guests, great debate, and a whole lot of fun. And you guessed it, in case you didn't know, it's all Wire to Wire.
Well, my friend, sacrifice all the nights. If I can make death and my dreams the same.
Can't listen to Creed anymore. Just such a bad experience for me. I'm sure it will lessen with time, but it's still too fresh. Well, I know. If you would have just helped me out. You walked into that one. Luca Cupido from America. Maybe Luco's a family name.
All the second best Lucas are from America.
It was Luco, not Luca.
Luco.
Luco. Luco. I guess that's how you'll pronounce it. Could be Luco. I don't know.
Here we go. Final segment of the final hour of the Rob Brown Show goes now. Rob Lonzo and you be a part of the show. The renewal by Anderson of the Carolinas fan phone is open. 844-326-3663. 844-FANFONE. You can text us at 71307. 71307. Start your text with FAN, F-A-N, FAN, F-A-N, and we will read them on the air this AM. Texas said, my father-in-law is the same, got a freezer full of deer steak and patties from one of his hunting trips. Congratulations. You have stumbled upon a treasure trove. All right. We talked deer meat earlier in the show because if you missed my favorite clip of the day.
Oh, I love it so far. There's actually a few other rednecks on this team, so we can sit and talk about fun stuff I like talking about. And no, it's great.
Can you enlighten us on who the other rednecks are and what you guys talk about?
Nope.
No, you can't. Not even one.
No, we talk about trucks and heavy equipment and stuff like that. That's all you're going to get.
Yeehaw! Andrew Chafin, pitcher for the Texas Rangers, and certified bona fide redneck. Because if you take your time out to talk about trucks and heavy machinery, you're either a wrestling fan or a redneck, or both. I ain't even mad. So we got into a conversation about deer meat because deer meat's awesome. Shut up. Stop. Nothing else matters. Do you know what's on the Olympic schedule today? Great one.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. Breakdancing starts today.
Ooh.
Uh-huh. Breakdancing starts today. Dudes and dudettes.
When and where?
Don't worry. I'm looking it up right now. I totally blanked on that. Today is the 9th. We only have like 2 more days of the Olympics, bro. Is that it? Yeah, 2 more days. Final events on the 11th. Let's see. Where's break? Where's breaking? Women's qualification and finals today. Full sports schedule. This is all I care about. Right at the end of the show, 10 a.m. Great one. 10 a.m. Can it be 10 a.m. now? Can we 88 in the DeLorean ahead 56 minutes and 55 seconds to 10 a.m. because it's all I care about?
All right, let's face it. When we got here this morning, we were looking forward to 10 a.m. before we knew there was something on.
Yeah, but don't say it like that. Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Men's qualification tomorrow at 10 a.m.
All right, so we can throw this in the office in there.
Oh, Ken?
Yeah.
Will?
Yeah.
Will?
It'll be a little distracting, but I want to hear the music. What music are they using?
So apparently, the way that it works is you don't know what song you're breaking to. You just get out there onto what I assume is the very fancy cardboard box.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
you don't know?
You do not know the song you're breaking to.
Wow. Do they have a live DJ?
They have a DJ.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently there will be a DJ. You do not know what song you are breaking to, and you have to improv a dance on the fly.
You can't slip the DJ a 50 and say, hey, make sure you play this during my set. I mean,
bro, let me get some remix Taylor Swift up in here. Get them crowd points, you know. Get the judges on my side.
Who are the judges for this?
I don't know. I don't know anything more than anyone else. I know that they're breakdancing, and I know they don't get to pick their song. That's what I know.
I don't know if I want the judge from Turkey or someplace like that judging me breakdancing.
Say his sport and he appears. I believe in Keegan, who drops by breakdancing 10 a.m. on E! !
Keegan is a
Keegan's had this on his calendar for weeks.
Is he a breakdancer though? You said it's his sport as if he participates.
I don't know. I just know that Keegan's been the one that's been hitting me about breakdancing for, again, weeks.
Was you breaking back in the day? Did you like the electric boogaloo?
What else we got on the schedule today? Artistic swimming goes on today. I think let's see.
Yeah, that was on. I changed it.
The duet technical routine is today. What do we have today? We get the women's semifinals in basketball today. Women get the opportunity to punch their ticket to the gold medal matchup this afternoon.
So just like the men, watch it to see some of the old people who won't be there next time.
Diana Taurasi's 41.
Yeah.
You know who could be there today? Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, but who knows? 4 years from now, they may take a 45-year-old Diana Taurasi over Caitlin Clark. They might.
Keegan said, I held the boombox for many talented breakers back in the day, and I placed cardboard down like a champ.
So you were the breakdancing trainer.
Can we get Keegan to LA in 4 years to be the breakdancing cardboard box specialist? The ringer for the Americans?
Hey, listen, that guy is important. Carrying the boombox, making sure no one makes off with it, and also putting down the cardboard in a very flat surface, because if you put it down the wrong way, someone might get hurt.
Beach volleyball women's finals. The Americans making it on neither side out of the quarterfinals this year. First time. It's a shame. Do have the men's welterweight, medium heavy, and fly championships today. The boxing feather, middle, and super heavyweight championships tomorrow. Break women's qualification. Oh, it's all in one. Qualification and finals today for the men's tomorrow in breakdancing. Breaking.
They're just breaking all day?
It's breaking all day till somebody wins a gold. Men's and women's K2 sprint kayaking and women's C2 final and men's C1 final.
Although that's not the full contact kayaking, is it?
No, that's not combat kayaking, which is the best thing I've ever watched. Let's see. We got men's individual sprint finals and women's Madison finals on the bikes. That's live right now.
What the heck is a Madison final? I knew you did. Ain't nobody out there know what that is.
Cycling, Madison Olympics. What is Madison cycling? Involves teams of 2 riders in a relay race with points on offer at sprints every 10 laps. The race begins with who cares?
Yeah.
It's 2-person biking.
Is there a baton? No, I don't. It couldn't be. Yeah. It's just...
Men's 10-meter platform preliminaries. Women's 3-meter springboard final is today. The women's field hockey finals are today. The men's finals yesterday. No idea who won that. I'm a bad one. Round 3 of the women's golf tournament is underway. The men's semifinals in handball is today. The women's finals tomorrow. The men's handball finals on Sunday. The modern pentathlon semifinals are live right now. Pentathlon's the one that it's like, this is like your Mr. Olympics if you win this, and Mrs. Olympics if you win this one, right? Isn't that the Bruce Jenner one?
Yeah, I believe so. There are a lot of events involved in it.
Well, 10. Hence the pent in pentathlon.
Wow.
Rhythmic gymnastics, all-around qualification, and individual all-around final. That's what was on earlier. You turned it off.
You're right.
Those Chinese ladies were throwing hula hoops around like they're free. It was wild.
They were. I thought it was halftime for a basketball game. So, yeah. Well, that's what the kind of stuff that goes on.
For the record, last year went to a Hornets game and Red Panda did the halftime show.
Yeah.
Electric.
Haven't seen her in person, but she is amazing.
Electric. It was unbelievable. Women's bronze medal soccer match and men's gold medal match is scheduled for today in footy.
Are we in those?
No. Women's, yeah. We're the women's semifinal play today. Ticket to the gold medal match is set. The women's gold medal match is tomorrow, which we are in. We've got 10-kilometer open water swimming men's championship is today. Oh, the men's final table tennis is today. Women's tomorrow.
I'm pretty sure LeBron lost yesterday. So.
French LeBron took the L?
Yeah, I believe so.
Come on, French
LeBron. That game was still going on. It was like on the entire show yesterday. I think it was still going on when we left.
Bro, that match was so long.
Yes.
Those boys were getting it. LeBron versus Wang. And Wang wins. LeBron couldn't beat Wang, is what happened yesterday. Men's table tennis finals coming up today. And of course, in the men's table tennis finals, Wang is in. So, congrats.
I'm not doing it more than once. Although if we're going to get flagged, getting flagged for Beavis and Butthead would be
hilarious.
Apropos for this show.
Taekwondo finals are today. On track and field, men's and women's 4x100 meter relay. No Noah Lyles in that. You had heard that story. Noah Lyles won the 100 meter, fastest man alive. Then turned around, went to run the 200 meter. Turns out, old boy's got COVID, so he's cooked. He's done. They were gonna let him run outside in the 4x100 meter anyway because it's an outside event. I guess we're good with that now. So he was gonna run, put it up to the coaches. Basically, dude needed like IV therapy to get through it. So no Noah Lyles in the 4x100 meter relay for the men's and women, but that final is today. Women's shot put, 400 meter, men's triple jump, women's heptathlon, women's 10,000 meter, and men's 400 meter hurdles are all today on the Olympic schedule. The men's bronze medal match is today in volleyball. The men's semifinals is on right now. Serbia up 6-4 on Team USA. Make that up 7-4. The shorty in the pool. That's not great. Serbia getting the better of the men in the pool. The women, by the way, got bounced by Aussie.
These water polo games last a really long time, too. So they probably have time to come back.
I would die. Straight up, entirely die trying this sport. I would not try this sport. So we're clear. I would be hanging on to that ball like it was my life just to keep me above the water.
Is there a redneck version of this? Because I probably would try that where you're out there in inner tubes.
No, you do it in the short end of the pool, except for instead of throwing a ball around, you just drink beer. That's my
that's
my
no fun.
version.
I'm just picturing inner tubes and jorts. That would just be a blast.
This is a
ball caps, not those weird things that they're wearing.
Semifinal matchup. Winner of this onto the gold medal round. Loser of this obviously will be eliminated down to the bronze medal round. Weightlifting, men's 102 kilogram weightlifting championship and the women's 81 kilo championship is today. And the men's and women's freestyle finals. The men's freestyle 74 kilo and 125 kilo and women's 62 kilo is today. And that is your Olympic schedule for the afternoon. I'm locked in. Can I tell you that I am terrified of the sport? I am not kidding you. It is not an exaggeration when I tell you that water polo triggers my anxiety. Not like, haha, funny joke. I mean, genuinely, I watch this and I get this unsettling feeling in my gut.
See, I was doing that with the wall climbing earlier. It's like I started getting dizzy watching. It's like, and I have some, according to, I have maybe breaking news, according to sources, CeeDee Lamb has been seen in a barbecue place in Kansas City.
Shut up. Stop it.
That's what sources are saying.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. I'm sure your cousin in Kansas City is very apt as a source.
They're a really big family, but I don't think we made it that far west.
Because you can't fly.
No, that's just me. I'm the only one. Everybody else is fine with it.
CeeDee Lamb, if you missed that story earlier in the show, yesterday JJ was outside of a Cowboys practice and was asked about the contract situation with CeeDee Lamb and said, we don't feel any urgency to get a deal done, to which CeeDee quote tweeted it on Twitter and said, LOL.
All right. So the particular X post that I'm looking at has 104,000 views. So, I mean, people really believe that he's actually in Slaps Barbecue in Kansas City.
I promise you, and I don't think it's happening, but I promise you, if CeeDee Lamb ends up a Kansas City Chief, I will disrespect the out of Kansas City for the rest of the season because it won't matter. It won't matter. No one's beating that team if CeeDee Lamb's on it. He's not going to be, but if he is, nobody's beating the Chefs and Patrick Mahomes with his Messiah complex. Nobody's doing it. Speaking of not having a Messiah complex, Steph Curry, I'd like to thank you on behalf of every American everywhere. Thank you for your service. Steph Curry has replaced Chris Evans as Captain America. It's just Steph now.
No, he has not. He took shrapnel in the war or something. I mean, he decided to play one day. Woo, look at me. I decided to play today.
Oh, did he decide to play? 9 threes en route to 36 points. 1 point for every year of age that he is. Steph Curry yesterday, bona fide stud, certified G. You can't teach that.
But they didn't look to him when the game was on the line. So
the hell do you mean? They had. What are you talking about?
They did it. Did he take the final couple of shots? No, he did not, because they knew they couldn't count on him when the game was on the line. I mean, he
took the shot that put him ahead for good. What do you mean you couldn't count on him?
Did he really?
Yes.
That was him? Are you sure?
Yes.
You're absolutely
Yes.
positive. Are you?
Yes.
Yeah, prove it.
I watched it.
Yeah, I watched it too. Prove it.
I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it.
Certified hater mode.
Haters, man. The haters.
Do I have any more? I feel like I got one more somewhere.
Oh, come on. You've got like 1,000.
I gotta have
all directed at me.
Wait.
They like to drink their haterade and eat their hater tots.
Got that one.
Who could be the biggest hater and say the dumbest stuff?
I got that one. Do I have any more? I thought I had more. But Lonzo's making me.
Hot as fish grease, bro.
I don't know if I said that way.
Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni.
Is that all my hater clips? I think it's all my hater clips.
You need to calm down.
You need to calm down.
I have 3 you need to calm down clips.
Yeah,
because Lonzo needs to calm down.
Which is weird because we all know that I'm high strung and need to be brought back down because I'm yelling and screaming all the time.
Lonzo's everybody else in America's team, Steph, right now. Lonzo's fighting for his life as the last non-Steph stan right now.
Oh no, there are a lot of people who don't care for him.
All right, well, go be a communist. Go root against the greatest living American, Steph Curry. That's your choice.
That's funny.
Go hate freedom, liberty, and the American way.
Are you done?
Steph, you icon.
He's a man of the people.
We might talk about Deadpool. We did get a couple of texts. You know what? When we come back, we haven't done it in a while. Cleanup segment. The cleanup spot. Used to be a bed for this. I don't know if there is anymore, but we got a lot of texts I haven't answered from you guys.
That was like years ago.
All right, well, a resurgence of the cleanup spot, and then if we have time, maybe a little Fanboy Friday to talk Deadpool and Wolverine, what the X is going on, all that and more coming up as we wrap up the week on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate. Steven, today is 2 weeks, bud. Came out Thursday 2 weeks ago.
The real reason why we don't do this very often is because Rob never goes to see anything, and because there hasn't really been any movies this year. There just hasn't. I think I've been to the movies twice, maybe 3 times. Once earlier in the year and then once a couple of weeks ago. Still trying to decide about Borderlands. A lot of people don't like it.
Has that ever played the games?
Cameron is going with the Rob Brown. I already hate it before I see it because he's
Big Borderlands
big.
guy?
Yes. I don't like the art style. And I think you can have a great story. I think you can have compelling gameplay. But if the art style is something that doesn't do it for me, then I just can't play the game. We even have it in VR, and I just can't. Just even though I did like interview one of the big voices in the game, I still just I cannot get into it. No, he's seen it, Steven. He finally watched it.
Yeah, I saw it.
It took him a year, but yeah, he finally saw it.
You mean Star Wars?
Yeah.
Star Wars with jets?
Exactly. Well, episode 4, Star Wars episode 4. Yeah.
Have you lost weight in the past but gained it all back and more? Hi, this is Dr. Elliot Hirschhorn with New Life Weight Loss, and we know the secrets of losing weight and keeping
Yeah.
it off.
Amy was talking about this morning. Have you seen Kevin Durant going back and forth online with people?
What is he doing?
Sports Illustrated. Kevin Durant spent the morning after USA's win over Serbia arguing with Nuggets fans.
That's hilarious, actually.
I was going to say, you do
That's
that.
funny.
I mean, we all do that a little bit.
Yep.
You do it more than anyone I know. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's engaging, but still.
I made a whole career out of it.
I prefer to troll on the air. Writing is
like an adult.
Writing is too difficult. I can't type fast enough like you kids.
You people. Do 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 do.
Look, Bronson Reed just tweeted something showing himself in the air about to slam down on.
Bro, that was cool. I enjoyed that.
That's got to be scary, though. Because if he hits that wrong one time.
Oh, for sure.
Especially after you got to be thinking if you're Seth Rollins, he's getting tired. He's getting tired. Please don't do it again. He's getting tired. He's going to slip. That's going to hurt.
All right, let's take a look at some of the texts you guys have sent over the course of the last 3 hours and 23 minutes. Texter said, do we think it's just an off year all around for the Braves, or is it maybe time to start putting some blame on Snit? The Braves, my dear friends, the Braves are cooked. They're cooked. I don't think there's any coming back from this. I don't think there's any coming back from this. The reality here is that a lot of the blame, if not most of it, has to go on Snit. This is how I phrased it on Wednesday night, and that was before 2 more losses to the Milwaukee Brewers that allowed the Brew Crew to come down to the ATL and sweep Los Bravos at Truist. Rob Brown knows ball. I've said it before. I'll say it again. The greatest compliment that Rob Brown can pay you is saying, you know ball. The harshest criticism that Rob Brown can give you is, you do not know ball. I know ball. And as I watched this team the last couple of days, I came to a realization, despite my knowing ball, I don't know what the explanation is for the fall off here. I don't know what the explanation is for how Atlanta got here. And here is one of those unfortunate realities about sports. If you don't know what the explanation is for the failure of a team, you got to put it on the head coach. Either you got to put it on the GM or you got to put it on the head coach. And in this case, I got to put it on the head coach. Here's a harsh reality about professional sports, ladies and gentlemen. Winning a trophy does not earn you a lifetime contract. It doesn't. I appreciate what Snit did for us in getting us a World Series. I appreciate his role in leading and developing that team and turning it into a World Series caliber team. I appreciate all of it. And as far as I'm concerned, you can put a big old statue of Snit right outside the front gates of Truist Park. But that doesn't mean he gets to stay there forever. It does not mean that he has earned a lifetime contract to be in charge of this squad as long as he wants. And the reality is, I don't think that any of us that are Braves fans anyway, I don't think that any of us are going to look and go, this is the GM's fault. Because when a team is trending downwards and you can't pinpoint what it is, right? A lot of NFL teams I can pinpoint. You got receivers dropping the ball, bad offensive line, bad quarterback play, a lot of misjudgment, bad decisions, off the field issues, whatever. You can point, you can go, this is a problem. This is maybe the problem. And then you go, all right, and the coach has an opportunity to fix it, right? If Georgia finds themselves trending down the next couple of years, we know what the problem is, and it's up to Curb to fix it or not. With the Braves right now. And before, the big smart baseball boy out there that's got both text thumbs typing furiously to text us at 71307. Start your text with the word FAN, FAM. We'll read them on the air. Before any of you text me feverishly to tell me it's the injuries, Rob. It's the injuries. It would be very silly to say that they don't have an impact. It would be very silly to say that they're not a deal, because they are a deal. They're not the primary deal. It's not the only problem. Matt Olson is not injured. He just can't hit the ball. Austin Riley missed some time, sure. He's not injured anymore. Outside of a dinger the other day, he can't hit the ball. What do you want? DFA'd Eddie Rosario, by the way. Remember the guy that they brought down and everybody was stupid excited? And I said, whoa, hold your horses. Let's not forget that this guy just got DFA'd by the Washington Nationals. Let's not forget that this guy just got told you're not good enough to play for the Washington Nationals, my dude. And that was the guy who was going to bail us out from having the worst offensive outfield. Adam Duvall stinks. Jared Kelenic has just been like up and down. He's got great moments and then he stinks. And nothing is changing. So yeah, unfortunately, it's got to go on Brian Snitker. It just has to go on Snit. And the reality here is Atlanta's got a good young core to move forward with. On paper, anyway. Not on the field. But on paper, good young core to move forward with. I give Alex Anthopoulos credit for that. So I can't put it on the GM. At least not yet. What I can say is, if Snit ain't going to change anything, you got to change Snit. That's really all this comes down to, in my opinion. If you don't change that, nothing else changes. So get it fixed. Get it fixed. Texter said, where'd that text go? I get what Lonzo was saying about Steph and his savior complex. I'm just happy that nobody on Ohio State football team has that same issue. Go Dogs.
Well, you don't need that issue if you're consistent every week. And that's what we're going to see if they're going to be this season. It's a brand new season. We don't know how they're going to be. They might be horrible. Just like Georgia might be horrible. Chances are both teams are going to be really good, though.
I mean,
shout out Georgia. I hope Ohio State plays Georgia in the national championship. That would be awesome.
Do you?
Yeah, absolutely. If you believe you are the best, you want to go against the best and beat the best. I mean, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And the man just went to Los Angeles, unfortunately. So, I mean, there's no getting back at Michigan other than, well, anyway.
Texter said, Rob, so excited about the Panthers after last night. Can't wait to see all 3 wins this year. Oh, you poor casual. You poor casual.
So that is now almost taking the place of Yankee in my eyes.
See, Yankee isn't offensive to me. Okay, it's not. It's just that's a geographical term for where you come from. That is
not when it's used a certain way. Just like you're using casuals in a way to belittle people, to make them feel beneath you. So it's bad what you're doing.
Let me tell you why casual becomes a bit of a knock. It's not that you were a casual. What I get frustrated by is when casuals decide that they want to now speak as if they are an authority. No, you're a casual. As Steve Smith told us last Thursday at Panther Fan Fest. It's like a minivan driver trying to tell a Ferrari guy how to race. No.
I'm still finding it hard to believe with that tone that you use when you say casuals or sometimes when you talk to me and some other people that you never got in a fight. I really find that hard to believe.
Not once. Don't intend to start now.
Talk your way out of it or just run really fast?
Oh, talk myself out of it.
Okay. All right.
That you can take to the bank. These teeth, 87% real. I'd like to keep them that way. All right.
Rob wishes we were Jay and Silent Bob today. No, actually, you would be the silent one. Never mind.
Texture said, Rob, I hope Amir Smith-Marset becomes a standout. He seemed like he was happy to be in Carolina last year. I got to tell you, I think you almost kind of have to hope he is because as of right now, casuals, we didn't see anything last night out of TMJ, and we didn't see anything last night out of John Mingo that lead me to believe that anything has changed yet. And if neither one of those guys is available to be that guy, XL, a guy that we all hope very much breaks out.
That'll be great, man.
XL's not an over-the-top speed guy. He's got some go to him, but he's not an NFL take the lid off wide receiver. And if that's the case, I need somebody who can be I think there's a chance that could be Smith-Marset, but we don't know yet. But I will need to see. Somebody's got to break out. Mingo, TMJ, Leggett, Smith-Marset. One of those guys, Coker, one of those guys has got to light it up. We'll see. Texas said, Rob, Adam Thielen is getting long in the tooth. You need a solid number 2 so he can be a great number 3. Andy Dalton is still the best quarterback on the roster. So, cup of things here. Let's go with yes. Adam Thielen is getting long in the tooth. That's why I am very excited about moving him back to the slot receiver position, which is where he's supposed to be playing. Number 2. I do need a number 2. We got a 1 in Deontay. We got a 3 in Thielen. That's why I said one of those cats has got to break out. Number 3, you don't know if that last sentence is true yet. You don't. Because you nor I nor nobody else has any idea what Bryce Young is a quarterback. You don't have the evidence to say one way or the other. Texter said, Lonzo.
Certified hater mode.
That's a quote from a text. Well done.
Yeah.
Texter said, John Dog says, preseason football needs to go away. Start the season a week earlier and give us one more game. Nah, I get it. Again, it's not for casuals. It's not. It's for coaches, it's for players, and it's for dudes like me. If it ain't for you, that's okay. Not everything is for everybody. But preseason football is not to entertain you. Never has been. It's like the ads that run before a movie. Like,
so it's cheaper. They don't make you pay full price for a preseason game.
I didn't say they don't want to profit off of it. I said it's not to entertain you.
Okay, so all right.
If that is how you feel, don't go to preseason games. Go to camp. Go to practices. That's more fun. All right, let's take a break. Final segment of the show next when we come back. The Rob Brown Show, the Fan Upstate.
Stop trying to make me have a bad Friday.
Are you stepping away?
Wasn't.
Okay.
Some people do, James. Some people are so excited that football is back. They want to see actually some excitement when they watch their football, which you could not do last night. I think that's another reason why you play your starters for a little bit, to give the people who pay, help you to come to the stadium so you have a reason to play, get them excited, entertained, all that kind of stuff. That's one way to look at it, but you should look the other way. Jack Plummer hit receivers like Jonathan Mingo and TMJ right in their hands, and they dropped the ball. We'll say, are you bowing when you come in the room? What are you doing? That was weird.
There's trash on the floor I picked up, but then I missed the trash can from my foot.
What do you mean? Your trash?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I was still not incorrect. I just wasn't fully forthcoming.
Right. Well, I didn't want anyone to think it was my trash.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes. ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Granger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
James, your fight is not with me because I don't choose to fight. You're absolutely right, James, and everything that you're saying. Way to go, dude. It's not trash talk, Wesley. It's real life, yo. Just making up for all those times when I was picked on in school, you know. It's kept it bottled up inside of me all this time. When I was picked on by people like Rob Brown. 1%ers who don't know what life is like on the street, yo. Just 20 minutes away from breaking. Yes.
I do not hate the vibes, to be honest here.
It's called yacht life.
That's
so you
why
probably
I don't
know
hate
what
the
it's
vibes.
like.
Absolutely. This is
on the edge of getting me in trouble. That's what it is. But that's fine.
Nah, dude. Pure vibes. Can we just change the tone of the show to yacht rock?
I don't think that would go over well.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, the Rob Brown Show. Wrapping up final segment here on the Fan Upstate. I wanted to bring up Deadpool and Wolverine at this point, but I was informed during the break that 3 different amigos of mine that are listening have not seen it and are going to see it tomorrow night. So as much as I had planned on it, I think we may push it to next week. I feel like we give everybody this weekend because it's been 2 weeks to the day since it came out.
You know what we could do? I could just talk about it and they'll only be mad at me.
I mean, that's not untrue. That's not untrue at all. Instead,
if you're on X at all or probably Facebook, you've probably seen the whole movie by now. Because I've seen just about every clip and every cameo and how could you not be spoiled at this point?
I got spoiled. I was infuriated, like genuinely, legitimately mad.
Yeah, no, I was there.
Like stormed out of the room mad. Really. Like genuinely.
I'm trying to figure out how all these clips are making it onto social media in clear and crystal view. I mean, phones ain't that good. They're getting it from somewhere. Ryan Reynolds is probably just like leaking the entire movie piece by piece.
That's how we got the movie. Can we all agree that one character deserves his own movie now, though? We can all agree on that, right?
Supposedly, he has talked to the powers that be and trying to put it back on the radar because he was supposed to be the star of that movie in the first place before they canned it. And now that there's interest, he's hoping to get it made.
Now that there's interest. I think
okay, renewed interest.
There it is.
Is that better?
There was interest the first time around. If it was only from me.
Yeah, but they didn't get the casuals. So without the casuals,
yes.
I mean, you're not going to get the money.
Yes.
So there's no sense of making it.
That is exactly how it works. That is exactly correct.
Isn't it amazing how one person can say a word and another person can say a word and it sounds totally different? When I say it, it doesn't sound demeaning. When he says it, it makes you just want to punch something.
There are
times, or maybe that's just me.
There are times in your life that you get upset at the casuals. Maybe not about sports. It might be about something else. But there are times in your life when you get upset about the casuals. And that's okay. Bristol Motor Speedway is setting up. They're going to run a Major League Baseball season next year. Braves Reds to take place at the longtime and world famous NASCAR track. That will take place August 2nd of next year. A matchup between Atlanta and Cincinnati, according to the AP officials from the track and their owner, have a press conference scheduled for today to discuss the 2025 schedule, and that game is expected to be on it. Bristol hosted an NFL exhibition game in 1961. It also hosted 2 college football games in consecutive weeks back in 2016. Tennessee and Virginia Tech played there. Tennessee and Western Carolina played there. Okay. I don't. In a weird way, I'm excited because it's a clashing of worlds for me, as both not just a NASCAR fan, but as a short track racing fan. I am excited about seeing a baseball game there, and as a baseball fan, I don't want to use the word excited because I'm really just kind of like, all right, it's gonna be really clunky. They put out a projected setup for what the field is going to look like inside of Bristol. Okay. It's going to have bad sight lines. It's going to be wildly unappealing as a look, I think. Now, I am not. Cole Bryson and I butted heads on this before. Because he did not love the NASCAR at Chicago race.
That's surprising. He's such an agreeable person.
He is.
Yeah, he agrees with everybody about everything. That's
Cole
what he
Bryson
does.
is.
It's his thing.
Cole Bryson is, and I use this word infrequently. Cole Bryson is a sweetheart of a man. All right? He's a teddy bear. He's a doll. He's adorable, is what he is. CB is as agreeable of a human as you'll ever meet in your life.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he's just an angel, is Cole Bryson. Okay? Big fan of CB. That's why I call him C Money.
By the way, I'm not a fan, but I don't believe anything he just said.
He's a doll. All right? Girl dads, you want your daughter to meet somebody like Cole Bryson. She'll be doing all right. Gentleman,
especially around
scholar,
here because he's got a big truck. So, I mean,
he does. And everything that our boy Andrew Chafflin said earlier.
Oh, I love it so far. There's actually a few other rednecks on this team, so we can sit and talk about fun stuff I like talking about. And no, it's great.
Can you enlighten us on who the other rednecks are and what you guys talk about?
Nope.
No, you can't. Not even one.
No, we talk about trucks and heavy equipment and stuff like that. That's all you're going to get.
That's Cole Bryson.
Fishing and hunting.
Cole still ain't taking me fishing. Keeps telling me he's going to. Ain't invited me fishing yet.
All those pictures of him out on the boat. Did Diesel ever take you fishing?
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Diesel goes fishing in like kayaks. Like he works when he fishes. I like to go fishing where I sit on the bank and I cast the line out and then I just drink a beer.
I don't think Cole does that either. I think he always goes out in a boat. Oh, most of his pictures looks like he's out on the water.
Yeah, but I feel like Cole would do the work, you know? And again, I'm okay with doing a little bit of work if I'm on a boat on the water, right? But like Diesel's on a boat that you have to be the motor. I don't want to be the motor. I want a motor.
See, he's on the Flintstones of boats.
I don't want to be the motor. I want to use the motor. There's a difference. Diesel's fishing is work. Cole's fishing is like, you just push that little switch forward, we'll end up over there. I'm good with that.
You can come over to my house. We can cast a line in the creek, see what happens.
That's what I'm saying. I want Cole to invite me fishing. That's what he sounds like. Anyway, point here is Cole didn't love the Chicago NASCAR race because he said that it was effectively out of its element. That's not good for NASCAR fans. And so it wasn't a good idea for NASCAR. And he and I vehemently disagreed on that. I think it's great for NASCAR. I think it opens it up to an all-new avenue of fans, if you'll pardon the pun. I'm good with it because I'm always down for like interesting things in interesting venues. But like, what does this accomplish? Other than just kind of being a highlight film, right? Like the Field of Dreams game that they played in a cornfield. That was kind of cool. Like that to me is something that I can get people to tune into. My mother doesn't watch a ton of baseball, but she's going to tune into that, especially when you got Kevin Costner there. He's a handsome son of a gun. All right, I get it.
You think he would get worse as he gets older, but it's not really. He's just becoming more distinguished looking. It's not. I mean, he's not on Sam Elliott level, but he might be if he had a mustache.
It's very unfair. It really is. Because Kevin Costner looks better than me at 80 than I look at 39. And it's frankly infuriating if we're keeping it a buck. It's very aggravating. Anyway, that was something I could get the Madre to tune into. She didn't need me to tune in for that. She would have just watched it. Fiance, doesn't watch a lot of baseball. She'll watch a game if I take her to one. But if I'm sitting at the house watching, she's not tuning in. She tuned in for that, right? I don't know that doing a game at Bristol gets that. I don't think the Madre is going to be like a baseball game at a NASCAR track. Hachi mama, let's go. I don't think the fiance, when I go, hey, babe, we got to watch the Braves game tonight. They're playing at Bristol, is going to go, you know what? Why don't you take the living room TV for that? That sounds awesome.
I just now realized what you were talking about. The baseball at the because I just tuned out because baseball and NASCAR at the same time.
Most people are.
Yeah, it's because I'm a casual.
Also, my mother said no one is at Sam Elliott level, so we're ending the show here.
I knew that.
End the show. Nope, I'm out. I'm done.
He's not really done. All right. Time to ask Rob what the X is going on. The first thing it's Xing, unfortunately, is Kevin Sullivan.
Yeah, Kevin Sullivan passing away yesterday, an icon in early wrestling, territorial wrestling, when many of us believe wrestling was at its absolute best, both as a wrestler and as a booker as well. The Great Wizard, a.k.a. the Taskmaster, R.I.P.
All right, let's stick with wrestling. The next thing that is Xing is Seth Rollins.
Seth freaking Rollins? I don't know.
I would never call him that. So
Seth. Oh, my sound's gone. Where's my sound gone?
Because I turned it down because we were
Seth Rollins.
Okay, all right, fine.
Trending because Bronson Reed killed him. He's actually
kind of. So according to many outlets, he's gone for a while to recuperate from many injuries.
Oh, for
They're
sure.
not saying if those occurred Monday or not, but some of them might have.
As soon as I saw that, and as soon as I saw Dakota Kai, I was like, y'all enjoy your vacations. Good luck getting healthy. We'll see you back soon.
All right. The next thing that's Xing is Daredevil Born Again.
Daredevil Born Again. I don't know why it's trending.
Well, D23 is going on, which is like a Disney Expo type thing. And there are pictures and stuff out because it's going to be coming out pretty soon. So that's why that is Xing. The next thing is Xing is Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard trending. Dukes of Hazzard is trending because is it because of what you told me yesterday? The Democratic Vice President, Governor Walz. Apparently, people think he has a passing a resemblance to Boss Hogg.
No, that was yesterday. He still does, by the way. He still does look like Boss Hogg. It hasn't changed from day to day. No, it's near as I can tell is someone put up the Confederate flag picture and asked the question, what do you think of when you see this? And the majority of the people that I saw are saying Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, General Lee, man. Dukes of Hazzard, by the way, hilariously, wildly progressive show for what it was, right? Like wildly progressive show.
And without which we never would have gotten Daisy Dukes. And men are eternally grateful for that. All right, the next thing that's Xing is, and the final thing that's Xing is Wardlow.
He's leaving AEW because that dude went from wildly over to what's this guy doing?
All right, so the reason why he is Xing is for that reason, along with Lucha Brothers, Daniel Garcia, and Ricky Starks.
Wardlow would fit at WWE because they just don't have enough like monster badass heels right now, and he could fill that role.
Oh, he absolutely could. The other guys would fit too. The question is, are any of them on the level to come to yes, I'm going Cajun just for you because peace offering.
Ended on a good note. I like
as we end the week.
What does Daniel Garcia do there?
NXT. That's what. So my question is: any of those guys that I mentioned going straight to the main roster?
Lucha
Brothers.
Yep.
Yes, that would be it. The rest, including Wardlow, would need to spend some time in NXT.
I don't disagree. All right, that's it for us, ladies and gentlemen. We are out of here. Section said, I would like the very confident Lonzo to go into the weekend knowing that Clemson does, in fact, have an elevator in its stadium. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, but only the privileged, and Rob is not one of them, gets to use it.
No, I did find out after we got up there I could have, but they took me that way so I could walk on the field, and I appreciate that. Y'all have a great weekend. Don't drink and drive. I'll punch you in the face. Thanks for being here. Enjoy the Olympics. Break dancing getting underway in 6 minutes. Stop working. Call in sick. Let's all go tweet about breakdancing. See you back here Monday to do it all over again, but better on the Rob Brown Show on the Fan Upstate. Later.
I really don't give a
Almost forgot to grab my clip there. That would have been sad.
Wow, it wouldn't have worked if someone had it turned down.
That would have been that of all the things. That would have made me madder than you dissing on Captain America, Steph Curry.
Yeah,
the greatest.
You're really
American,
upset about that.
The greatest living American, Steph Curry. All right, dudes and dudettes, thank you all for being here. You're all spectacular people. We appreciate you more than we can say. Tell your friends about us. Help us grow the show. Have a lovely weekend. Bet for the Cycle tomorrow, noon to 4. Back, first time in 3 weeks.
By the way, Upstate Pulse, tomorrow night, 7 to 9 p.m. Check that out, too.
On 98.9 WORD.
Or streaming. Yeah.
Or streaming on Lonzo's Facebook page. Okay, bye.